mega wonder.
50. That's a lot of months.
Hello. Is audio be working?
Hey,
Do
it's the
words be
thingy
heard
people
today?
use. Thank you.
I have been pried away from my Marvel beat 'em up game to pay my entry fee.
There's no entry fee. It's not. It's not. Oh. Oh. Dad, thank you. Hugh, thank you for the 50 months. Jesus Christ. Jesus. That's the boy, man. That's me. That's what I did. Yep. That's what I be. Turn off my private jet in the back? What? Is there a bad sound in the background? Is the audio terrible? I don't even have my fan on. That's literally just my computer. Hold on, let me check this. Hold on. Hold on, let me check this. Hold on. Hold on, let me check. Oh, the PC's very low. Yeah, I do that. If I turn down the, maybe it's because it's my microphone's that way. Let's try
Nature surprise.
this.
Are entry fees still required?
No, no entry. It's not real. Wait, how about that? Any better? Also, thank you, guys. Thank you for the 24. Jesus, 2 years.
Oh, hello.
Holy moly. A little better. Okay. What is this? 3 stream streak. What is that? I have a fan. Just put some ice in the computer. Yeah. I'm not sure why the fan of my computer is so loud. I need to look at it, try to fix that. A TX video, good obscure dinosaur references. I do appreciate a lot of people for posting comments, like, so like they found the prehistoric park music. I hope that there was like a lot of people who were invested in paleo media got to see all the like I snuck so many references or like nods to other forms of paleo media that I grew up with and enjoyed. Like there was so much. There's like a bunch of Walking with Dinosaurs stuff. There was Prehistoric Park. There was Primeval. There was some Operation Genesis stuff in there.
Hey,
And then
it's
some
a
more modern
thingy
stuff too.
people
Like there's quite a
use.
few
Thank you.
Prehistoric Planet.
Death heard a Godzilla roar in one of them.
Oh yeah, there's some Godzilla stuff, of course, and whole bunch of things. Like type of Dino Rise. I did see there were some people say that I should have put a Dino Blade reference in there, which is a good point. I should have. That game is entirely sold on like the idea of like, yeah, if you want to play as a dinosaur, it just sounds cool. Dan, you can't. Dan. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs, you psychopath. What the hype train? It doesn't do anything.
Nikki, you
Hype
fucking
train
piece of
doesn't
shit.
do shit. What's your favorite dinosaur? I will show you. Ah, my son.
Blood-sucking flies, which infest his coat.
This is my favorite. This is the best boy. Look at him. Behold my
They're
splendiferous son.
and even painful. And while his huge claws enable him
That's the
to have a good
Dino-Kyrus. That's
scratch,
him.
there are always some spots that are just out of reach.
I love this little guy. He was in the video. Nice. Oh yeah, the full theme's out, by the way, if anyone wants to listen to it.
What if I were
It was around here ish. Oh, it was right there.
Game's den buried so far down the real dinosaurs could see it. Okay, it's fine if
There he is. Perry, the prehistoric dinosaur. Yeah. Yeah, I love the big duck. Yeah, he's awesome. I love Dino-Kyrus. It's like if you took it just a hadrosaur and a duck, and then a Therizinosaurus with the big claws, and just mushed them all together. He's big and fluffy, and he likes the water. I love him. That's just these who trips over their shoelaces. Yeah. I'm also a big fan of Dilophosaurus. That's one of my
I just joined
favorites.
and I am wondering what the heck I am looking at, Nikki.
Oh.
I was wondering in the video and I am still wondering.
That's
Also,
Dino-Kyrus.
entry fee.
Big dinosaur, big duck. Love this lad. It's related to modern aquatic birds or something. I mean, dinosaurs, like all dinosaurs are related to birds, technically. So there's a lot of dinosaurs who took on more traditional bird-like qualities, but there's also ones that took on some mammalian-like qualities. Right? There were some burrowing dinosaurs. There's some that live arboreally. There's all kinds of stuff. And with Dino-Kyrus, it's just kind of it's like a lot of prehistory is all speculation. So from my knowledge of Dino-Kyrus, it's just like assumed that it most likely lived in wetlandish areas and was kind of semi-aquatic because of where it was discovered. So, how do you write its name? Oh, I was going to... There we go. Dino-Kyrus. All dinosaurs are birds. Not all birds are dinosaurs. Also, it's Jurassic World Evolution. Dino-Kyrus is going to be added to the game again, which is going to be nice. And they got Irritator coming in, which is going to be nice. Are those feathers? Yes, it's all feathers. Yeah. Very downy feathers. It's adorable, though. I love him. I love him. Makes you think, yeah, big chicken, yeah. There's always back and forth about like what kind of dinosaurs are actually covered in feathers. I think the leading theory with T-Rex now is T-Rex was like a penguin. You know, where a penguin has these really downy, fluffy feathers when they're a baby, and then they kind of grow out of it. And they get their more slick, meant for water feathers. The theory is that T-Rex still had like a bit like kind of like little tufts, but they were fully feathered when they were babies, and they grow out of it. They're just sauropods. I think it's pretty assumed that like sauropods and ceratopsians, centrosaurs, stegosaurs, and ankylosaurs, like most of the herbivorous ones did not have feathers. It was more of the bipedal theropod ones. Like the therizinosaurs probably evolved from the more theropod-based dinosaurs. Real roars of dinosaurs. Oh yeah, I know. Like the whole thing with roars is a lot of them probably couldn't. Is one vegetarian? Yes, he is. He likes to eat the moss and the plants. He's a big duck. You're not eating anything. You're not eating any meat with that. All the therizinosaurs were plant eaters, as far as we know. They just had big ass claws, which is that's the biggest speculation. Is like, what did they use these big claws for? It's assumed that they used it for foraging, maybe probably defense.
A gift from the forest.
What?
Entry fee. I'm sorry to say, Nicky boy, I have accidentally started playing League again. BC, my new partner is a Challenger level planner. Though it means I can force him to watch your videos now. Missed catching your streams.
Thank you, Nicky boy, for donating the $3. Identity theft is not a joke. I apologize to hear that you have to play League of Legends, but thank you. I appreciate you watching the videos. The doppelganger.
Major surprise!
Hi Nicky. I have one question and it's important. Are you the voice actor of Ultron from Arcane Marvel Rivals?
Oh yeah, don't I
Nicky
sound
boy
exactly
heart.
like Ultron? I think I sound exactly like him. Thank you, Ghost Luigi. They were the 46 months. Sorry. Thank you. And Marja, I did it. Thank you for the 39 months. I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you. Maybe my toast is yes. Archaeopteryx. I'm pretty sure Archaeopteryx is not the oldest feathered dinosaur. That one is just kind of seen as like even though the whole term missing link is kind of not a real thing, but Archaeopteryx is like, oh, that's kind of like the link-ish between dinosaurs and birds. There's also a lot of bird-like dinosaurs though. The only TFT I've played of the new set was I logged on to get that footage of the T-Hex in Talker's trial. So I haven't really played the new set, but it looks like it's going to be fun. Maraceratopsids that had spine. Oh yeah, the quills. Yeah, I think that's mainly that's like an interpretation because they found fossil evidence of it in some of the smaller ones, right? Like Psittacosaurus. But I think I don't know if they found exact evidence for it. I'll go blind the new TFT set tomorrow. I'm very excited. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. New TFT, yeah, the new set.
Major
There's
surprise!
going to be the T-Hex. There's going to be Baron is going to be in it again, like an actual viable Baron unit. Rift Herald's in there. Lulu's got a new model. They're using the LOR version of Nidalee and Zillion. Like it's cool, man. Looks like it's going to be fun. I just go blind into things because it's enjoy. I don't always do.
No.
I can't forcibly. I cannot stop myself from looking at the trailers for Monster Hunter. So I the monsters aren't a surprise to me, except the final boss, which I'm super happy that was a surprise. Holy shit! Still, Zoshia still just sticks with me. Among any of the other final bosses in any Monster Hunter I've played, like, he just sticks with me. It's so good. It's supposed to be on YouTube. They're gonna be 3 separate videos. It's tradition.
Surprise!
It's a tradition that we do every year. So I'm gonna be recording it today, and then there'll be 3 separate videos of like the best, the worst, missed potential. But I like doing recording them on stream because then I get your guys' input as well, which is always fun. Gamazio. Oh yeah, Gogmazio's coming out soon. Yeah, that should be fun. So I guess we got the skins here, and these will be coming out next year. So these won't play any part in anything for how they impact the ranking today. Though it's I already have it preset. You know, I got I got the artwork and stuff ready. I got like a whole list figured out. Got a couple notes down so I don't lose track of everything. But yeah, we got these are gonna be the new battle pass skins, I believe. I think I assume Nautilus and
it's a thingy
Cho'Gath
people
are the
use.
battle
Thank you.
pass.
Nikki, did you get the new event weapon already? You should go look what it looks like.
Oh yeah,
X.
I actually last night I did. I played me and Footballhead play Monster Hunter together. So we usually if there's a new event quest, we'll hop in and do that. Yeah, we played it a bit last night. It's really and dual blades is like the two weapons I made in Wilds are dual blades and gun lance. So in terms of event quest weapons, I've been eating good. Oh, Nautilus is okay. So Talia's battle pass. Interesting. I would have thought because Nautilus and Cho'Gath are sharing a similar theme that's there, but this is great though. I've actually this is exactly what I wanted from the battle pass skins. Like we take and explore an aesthetic of a region, but we don't just like we don't have Demacia and Garen. Though I guess like making Garen into a Petricite golem, I guess would have been a bit more novel than just Black Rose Vladimir again. or like Noxie and Scion again. Like actual region swap skins. And they pick good champions for it too. I think Cho'Gath and Nautilus, these are great picks. And Talia as well is not a mage seeker, which I still think would have been horrible. It also would have been a really like dark twist on Talia's character that I kind of would have liked. But I guess we'll see. I think it'd be less racist, Garen, because Galio's just a good guy, you know. That's like his whole thing of finding out with Lux. Is like, wait, but you're good. You're a good person. I just live to fight the bad people. I'm just pointing at which one of the bad people and I go and punch them. Fiddlesticks? Oh, you could do some crazy stuff with Fiddle. Yeah, Duran are the people got allies in LOR. Well, no, Duran is the person who sculpted Galio. But it was assumed that Galio was the only one that LOR kind of muddied things up a bit, that they like mass produced these things. And Duran had all his ancestors, even though apparently he was supposed to be the last of his bloodline, but apparently he has descendants that carried on his legacy and somehow knew how to make more Galio-esque things, but whatever. That's what Cho'Gath is based on, actually. He's based on Gorlith. Let me grab Gorlith. You'll be able to see the resemblance immediately. Look at that. See? You see like the very similar, the owl head shape. And the turrets in the new season are in there too, right? Owl bear, yeah, literal owl bear. No, it's not a one-to-one. It's still its own thing, so we'll see. Bird. Remember Ballin? I love Ballin. Ballin's good. I will take Ballin. And I do like Gorlith. I like the idea of there being more Petricite constructs in theory, but I think just how they kind of hand waved it away. That like, oh yeah, of course there are. It's like, or at least having them be. I think just having them be statues is cool too. Yeah. Oh, Anavia would be cool. The problem, Anavia's rig is so bad. It's so hard for her to pull off skins. Cho'Gath has the benefit. I guarantee you most of Cho'Gath's new skins would not work as well if they were stuck using the old animation rig before Darkstar Cho'Gath got introduced. He has the benefit that he at least got some updated animations. That's why every new skin that he has uses that rig. But it is still an enigma of a character that his skins still look as good as they do despite being so old. Ornn would be cool too. Have him be... Oh, you could have Ornn be a stand-in for Duran. Like, that'd be kind of interesting. You have Ornn or Heimerdinger, have like the inventors. Model holds it back a lot. Yes. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. It depends on the day for
Hey,
me.
it's a thingy people use. Thank you.
As an Anivia main, this hurts my soul. First she doesn't appear in Song of Nunu and now the streamer insults her rigs, and rightfully so. Though Petricite Anivia sounds dope.
It could be cool. I think you could also, what might be interesting, if you ever do like a region swap skin, you want to keep them in the same area. It's kind of been done a bit already because Thunderlord Ornn exists, but just taking the Freljord demigods and mashing their elements around. You know, yeah, like Lightning Anivia, Fire Volibear, Thunder Ornn's technically been done already with Thunderlord. Like just really swapping around the elements. In an ideal world, we'd have the Iron Boar and the Seal Sister in there as well. Rammus, be interesting. Let's take a look at this guy though. Let's see what we got here. Like the recall is him coming to life from the magic.
You shall not escape.
Why does he talk? I mean, Galio talks. Gargoyles of old Disney. Isn't Cho'Gath supposed to be like Rek'Sai? Here's the funny thing about Cho'Gath. He doesn't exist. It's just he just doesn't exist. He's just not a character. Rek'Sai at least is known and has like, oh yeah, the Psy Desert and the Queen's Air Psy. She doesn't really have champion interactions beyond, oh, she's a monster to fight, but at least she has somewhere that she... Where is Cho'Gath? Is nowhere. If Cho'Gath existed, Runeterra's done for. He a character that like gets bigger the more he eats. He's already unstoppable. Like, it's done. He exists to devour the planet. And he has no character connections. Doesn't exist. He's just even more. I'd argue even more so than Shaco. Shaco is as stupid as Shaco's backstory is. At least puts him in the world somewhere and describes what he is. What Cho'Gath is like. Cho'Gath is just a thing that hypothetically could exist, I guess. But that doesn't stop me from loving Cho'Gath. Like, I love this guy. He's incredibly flawed, but I love him. You know? He's my exact vibe of character. He's the big monster. He's a kaiju dinosaur. Like, I love him. Oh, Corki. Corki has the benefit of having Wild Rift help to save him a lot. They didn't use the new model, but they helped to save him at least. They gave him that updated design, a bit more personality and interactions. He's got the squad, you know, with Chistana and Teemo and Lulu. Like, he's got friends. Corki has an easy like spot that he could fill. Cho'Gath is just kind of empty and like don't know where he's even going. This looks great though. I'm really happy with this. I don't think it's Cho'Gath's best skin though. I think Cho'Gath is weird that he has so many great skins. This is a good skin though. This is good. I know it's not a legendary, like I know, but having him crumble to bits like Galio does, that would have been nice. Are you sure Cho'Gath? Are you sure Cho'Gath's the Battle Pass skin? It's got chromas. So I think probably then Nautilus and Taliar. They have chromas now. How do you acquire the chromas for the Battle Pass skin? Is it the same? Like, you still have to pay extra for the chromas, or... Because that would be insane if you could unlock chromas through the... That would exponentially increase the value of the battle pass if chromas were littered throughout it. I doubt it, but that would be great. What is this? Oh yeah, they're probably gonna be purchasable. I imagine they're gonna be purchasable, but that would be incredible. Even if it's not all of them, right? Just like sprinkle a couple in there. Massive increase in value of the pass. You know, the 2XKO does that, right? 2XKO has the skins. You unlock the base skin first, and then as you go through the pass, you get more of the chromas. Because I would much rather a chroma than like 750 blue essence or whatever it is. Yeah, true. Biko kind of... Poor Skarner, dude. Skarner was off by one pass. One pass too early to get chroma. God damn it. They're pretty nice looking. Yeah, I think the blue one... This is probably the standout for sure. This blue one is very nice. Quite fond of this green one too, and this gold one. Even the red one. I think the only one I kind of don't like really is I think the black one, weirdly enough, the black one and the pink one feel a bit desaturated, I guess. The pink one feels could stand to be a little bit more vibrant. Bit of a dull pink. So this blue there, this is trans rights Cho'Gath over here, but the colors are very dull. You gotta brighten them up a bit. There's a reason that color scheme's good. Dinner time? I have a good dinner. It's good though. I mean, if Battle Pass skins are getting chromas, that's great. I think that basically just means like, okay, nice. So the Battle Pass skins are just full quality normal skins now, which is what they always should have been. Granted, but it just means that we're getting there. We're getting you know, got good quality stuff at least in the Battle Pass skins, and he looks good. This is really fun, and a good choice to be a Petricite Golem. I don't think it's Cho'Gath's best. I'd like gut impression for me is like an 8 or a 9 because it is just like it's Petricite Cho'Gath. It's not, and I like the reference to Gorlith is nice too. But the thing is, Cho'Gath has Darkstar. Cho'Gath has Toy Terror. Cho'Gath has Broken Covenant. Like, Cho'Gath has so many peak skins that it is hard to compete at this point. Demaglio Nar. That makes sense. Battlecast Cho is pretty good too. The thing that always like kind of pushes me away from Battlecast Cho, weirdly enough, is because for some reason it makes his model smaller. I don't know why that's it just not even just like he's the same width, but he's not as tall. And I think with Cho'Gath, when his main gimmick is just trying to become a kaiju and be gigantic, making his model appear smaller kind of takes away from it a bit. And the new Cho'Gath rig helps with that a lot too. Like the way that he's his base positioned, where his upper two scythe arms are really standing tall, increases his height a lot more. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a Cho'Gath VGU. That's why though it's like it's an enigma, and it's not. As much as I want a Cho'Gath VGU so badly, I think it is fair to give it to other characters. Because Cho'Gath is an enigma where, despite being so old, it hasn't been a detriment to his skin quality. Compared to someone like, you know, Corki, I'd argue even Sona has this a lot. Or Janna. Jeez. Vladimir. Kennen. Like, there's a lot of characters who, their skins are made significantly worse because their models stink. Zillion. Yeah. Kassadin. Guess it's up kind of there too. What was he fighting there? Was that like Void Mist? Or is that Morgana beckoning him forth? Since we're Demacia, it feels like it might be Morgana. Yeah, I have the splash out for cast. Same thing with Syndra and Hecarim, right? And Sivir, they just use the Wild Rift model. Might be Nocturne. Maybe. It is also a great fit. I do like that his anchor almost looks like a temple. Oh, I did not even consider the Silas chains for the hook. Ooh. Ooh. Weird thing to praise, but the W auto sound. Ooh. Oh. That's good. That's a good sound. That's good. That sounds satisfying. Clink. Bonk. That's good.
Do you hear them calling?
The unfortunate thing for Nautilus is that he has Warden already. I think from a glance, you could maybe mistake this for Warden. Oh, what is he doing there? What is the explosion? Is it water? I guess because Nautilus. Is he like a aquatic Petrosite golem? Like he's a statue that's in the river or something? The boy, that's me. Oh, he's a fountain! Ooh! I like that idea. I like it. He's like a big fountain. I like that. Okay, that's cool. Decorative. And functional. He's a whole aqueduct. I can see that too. It might maybe if his anchor was shaped more like actual arches. It's not quite as much though. I could definitely see it as like he's a decorative piece though. Yeah, not having them crumble to bits when they die like Galio does feels a bit missed opportunity, but that purple one is sick. That's a nice looking purple color. The Crowas aren't as good overall, I think, though, for Nautilus as they were for Galio. They have to incorporate the blue of the water in all of them, so you need to have colors that match with the blue well. Kind of takes away from the red on this one. Matches well with this gold one, though, I think. City one looks like a Hextech again. Yeah. Looks like the Hulk Buster. I kind of see it. It does have the red, blue, and gold. That's not bad. That's pretty good for Nautilus. I do want to see the splashes for these when they eventually release. We didn't get the. I was waiting for the splashes to come out, and they just never did. Or PV preview. That's why it's streaming so late. There's just no preview. I just had to wait for Mr. Spotlights to upload it. I think the concept of him being a fountain, if that is what it is cool though. That's fun. Kind of neat way to incorporate Nautilus's deep sea aesthetic without it being overpowering the skate line, but also makes him unique among the Petrosite golems, right? That's cool. And then we get Talia. Duran's legacy is interesting. Because still, no one knows what Duran actually did to make Galio the way that he is.
Every lesson is a gift.
Talia using Petricite. Actually begs a good question. Could Talia earthbend Petricite? Because she's an earthbender, but it's magic absorbing rock. So this is like a movable force versus unstoppable object kind of predicament. Like how does it work? Is it Petricite from a tree? Yeah, originally. I just brought down to a earth. OP Talia. Maybe. Yeah, it's not wood anymore. It's like concrete, yeah. Because then you have to say if it's like a Talia couldn't earthbend concrete then. Not that concrete. Well, if they have roads, they have paved roads. So, wow. It's like a sad situation where she learns to take advantage of it. Maybe, but Silas doesn't even... He uses the magic that's absorbed into the Petricite and then shoots it back out. Because it stores it. That was like the common misconception that Demacia had when they eventually discovered and used Petricite. They thought that it destroyed magic when it just absorbs it. Rel Ben Petricite armor? I don't know. This is all good questions. I know that it wasn't like a popular thing, but I kind of like the idea of Talia being our stand-in for Wisteria. Especially if we're going to Demacia and we're probably going to be retelling the... Do you think Wisteria is going to be a champion?
Nikki, you fucking piece of shit!
Wait, if they have the opportunity to retell Mage Seeker... They could, though. Oh, that would be cool. Karen, thank you for the raid, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. Not another one, but that's the point. That's showing like what the system did to her. And it helps make Silas, you know, prop him up to be the anti-hero that he's supposed to be. Instead of the cartoon villain. Did it for the memes. They're not retconning Mage Seeker lore into here, they said. I don't expect them to retcon, but the thing is, in canon, it hasn't happened yet. In terms of how we're progressing along the story. The whole thing with Zahen, Yunara, and LeBlanc, like that's all prior to Mage Seeker, so we're probably going through the story of Mage Seeker in 2026. So I don't expect them to fully retcon it. I expect them to change some things. Or is she a mage and assassin? I think she'd be, yeah, like a... She would have to be like a Diana type thing. Probably like both, I'd imagine. Yeah, and you can't say that the fact that she dies in Mage Seeker is an excuse anymore when when now we have Ambessa and Jinzhao, and I guess technically Victor and Jace as well. Characters can die and still be champions now, so it's fine. No, I would actually not be surprised if in some years we get a retelling of Sentinels of Light. They actually care about it this time. And the Katarina comics, yeah. Might be an opportunity to give Katarina an ASU. Would be nice. Zolani would be in the game. Instead, it's her items. Oh, yeah, I saw that yesterday. You know, after stream, I saw that, the Zolani item.
Hello.
I'd bring Nora as well. Yeah, I'll forever be sad that they're getting Nora on Wild Rift and not on PC. Moonberry, you don't have to give $5 just to colon 3. I appreciate it. You don't gotta do that. Does Kyrie need an ASU though? Yeah, she doesn't look great. She does look great. Is it entropy? No, it isn't. You don't gotta do that. I did hear Shyvana's VGU is coming. I have not seen it though, and I do not wish to see it. I do not want to be spoiled on leaks when it clearly was not ready yet, especially after Zahen. And it's just a nightmare to navigate because there's just some people will just post it without spoiler tagging it, or even they'll post a YouTube community post and they'll just show up at my feed. Like, God damn it, man! That happened with Zahen, and Zahen looked so much worse in that screenshot than he did. So, I don't know. Yeah, Squidward's ahead, yeah. Gee, for wear heat-resistant armor. Good question.
Did you see that?
I would like this one is difficult for me to judge without the context behind it, I guess. It's fitting for her, like it's a earthbender, different kind of material. So it's interesting. I want to know what the context is. The fact is it's Duran's legacy is strange to me. I'm not sure what it means.
You're not a problem. You're a learning
See
opportunity.
Rakan when she crits? I guess like the big cape almost, I guess.
Watch out! Daisy Stampede!
Ugh. Oh, alert box. Are we doing this again? That was ages ago, man. The purple one again is damn good. That's a... Haven't I seen... I swear I've seen this color scheme. The red hair with the black and gold and the bit of turquoise. Where have I seen that before? Looks eerily familiar to something. Quinn? Yeah, it does. I guess the haircut too, right? The crown. Yeah, maybe it does kind of. Yeah. Was it Warden Quinn or something? Or not Warden Quinn. What is the one? The forget what it's called. I actually don't remember. Woad, right. Woad Quinn, thank you. Yeah, there's Woad Quinn and Darius. As you think of that. Though her outfit's more white there. This one's black, so. Yeah. This green one would be a lot better if they didn't pick such a kind of dirty brown here. Yeah, made like a bit of a darker brown or something. Less saturated. Conjures the green. I like the choice of the hair color with the purple, though. Kind of the blackish blue hair here as well is nice. Yeah, Krobus. This pink one's damn good too. That's what I mean. That kind of brown. This brown's a bit too yellow. But very nice. And this is Prestige Veiled Lady Morgana.
Home. A place that never leaves you.
I am a mixed. Broken Covenant, no way. Only sparkling anything. The thing is, at least it's a prestige skin that's using the fractal glass as part of its aesthetic and not just having it be tacked on for no reason at all. You know, like a whole bunch of prestige skins this year were like that. Spirit Blossom Zed was like that. He just has fractal glass patterning on his shurikens because you have to know it's prestige somehow. Or Jarvan, even though that skin is amazing, they just stuck some fractal glass patterning on the shoulders, even though it really was not necessary. At least this one's leaning hard into that. They're kind of going with the Demacia and stained glass aesthetic. Calling it Veiled Lady is kind of throwing me off a bit, though. Because that's the name that a lot of people give her, right? Like the myth around Morgana and Demacia, in the woods of Demacia.
Torment.
Yeah, it's
Do
all
not
stained
run from
glass.
your shadow.
And that helps it at least feel prestigious without taking away from actual skin concept. They didn't just try to do like Legacy of Duran Morgana or something. And it makes sense for her, like if they just, you know, she's connected to the region. But Al, I like the wing effects, okay? You got me with the wing effects. That's nice.
Look what you made me do.
That's cool. Very nice ult. The VFX are very good. Yeah, I think the VFX are easily the best part about this. Really, really pretty looking effects.
You cannot.
Actually feels prestigious for once.
I will show you pain.
Calling it Veiled Lady still weirds me out though. But I think I'm just used to the LOR version, you know? I would have loved if we got the LOR version of Morgana. Oh, interesting. Kind of coloring it more like classic Morgana, but not entirely. Does she even have a veil? I don't think she actually has a veil, does she? Nothing Burger Chroma. I mean, those chromas are not really ever worth it. You basically pay $10 for a chroma. It's just not worth it. It's just Lady Morgana. Yeah. There's some things I like. I like the idea behind it. I don't know if I like the execution as much. Besides the VFX, the VFX are lovely. But yeah, it looks more like Morgana took upon Kale's place the full aspect of justice. It would be kind of interesting to have. That would be a full fun way to have a character that's tied to a region but still have it feel unique, where you have Kale and Morgana kind of switch identities, where Kale becomes the more the dark magic but compassionate one, Kale becomes the more, or Morgana becomes the more righteous divine justice light. They're kind of leaning into that a bit here. It has a lot of Kale's color scheme in here, so it's kind of a shame that Kale didn't get one in tandem. But yeah, I think I think it's actually using the glass shards concept as part of the skin and not just a random extra it has, which is good. I think they've struggled with that a lot. Might be in the second part, maybe. Yeah, if we're gonna have a second act of Demacia, I could see that. The curious thing will be, because last year, my biggest criticism with last year, the way the story was structured, is that Act 2 and Act 3 felt very much connected. Where it's just like, okay, yeah, we were clearly going from is Jin Zhao's story and Yunara, and then we're transitioning into Zahen. Like, that just felt like a good through line. But Act 1 felt like, and I like Mel as a character, I really do. What did she do? Like, she feels like she was just the segue for Arcane fans to get introduced to the storyline, and then LeBlanc comes over and she's the real character. Like, she goes to Noxus and then she's gone. Like, you know, Yunara actually got to still be a player character in the third act. She was still there, and we got some more knowledge with Jin Zhao, and then leading up to Zahen. Of course, Zahen's being teased the whole way through. But Mel just kind of like LeBlanc as well was introduced early on with the cinematic, and LeBlanc is still a consistent player. Mel was just gone. What's a Mel? It felt like they kind of just abandoned her. So I'm curious what they're gonna do for this season, because we didn't get a teaser of a new champion or anything. I didn't expect to so close to Zahen. And we're going to be retelling Mage Seeker. That's why I'm saying Wisteria has a good chance of being a champion if we're retelling the story of Mage Seeker. So yeah, Otacon was more of a player than Mel was. Otacon is dead too now, so Yeah, that's how I felt about Mel too. Mel in League of Legends does not feel like Mel from Arcane at all. Even more so compared to what they did with Victor or the Jace skin or whatever. Like it's just they don't feel like the same character to me. Not in look, not in abilities, not in even how they act. Does not feel like Mel to me personally. Also, don't like fighting her. That also doesn't help. That's just obnoxious. Walking the dress, yeah. Yeah, she can say nuh-uh to everything. It'd be one thing if it was a reflect. Like, imagine if Yasuo Windwall didn't just block projectiles, but it blocked everything. That's how I feel with Mel. It's like, why does that also just negate all damages? Even if you don't use it to reflect it, you could just negate an entire... Like, if Rengar leaps, nope. Entire burst blocked. What are those hands? Stretchy hands. Part of Morgana's animation. Morgana's very animated. She's got facial animation. She's got a lot of squash and stretch on her hands when she does big attacks. It's what they used to do a lot of the time. They don't do it as much anymore. But now that we've looked at that, it is time, fellas. It is time. It is time. Here we go. It is time. Let me press the dangle recording button. Bada bing. And this is nice too. Usually when I have to record videos on stream, I'm not warmed up at all. But now I've got my speaking voice in. Whew. I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to go. Okay. Fellas, welcome. Oh god, my mic was peaking there. Jesus Christ. Fellas, welcome. It's time for that annual tradition we do about the end of the time every single... What did I say? It's about that time again. The annual tradition we do at the end of every year. Now that every single skin has been unveiled, and there's some skins that have been unveiled for next year. Regardless, we call the skins that's been revealed for League of Legends this year. And it's been, a bit of a mixed bag, some would say. But as we always do at the end of every year, we go over what I think are the best, the worst, and the most missed potential skins of the year. Voice crack, thank you. The best, the worst, and most missed potential skins of the year. And I want to see how you fellas compare to it. Just kind of a neat look back to see how different the quality has been this year comparatively. And I think as we do try to keep them into each separate video, we start with the worst, usually. We usually go worst, missed potential, and then best. Kind of as we go through, things get better. So we'll start with the bad. And usually I like to keep it to a kind of top 10-ish, but I do like to throw in some honorable mentions as well. And I think for honorable mentions for the worst skins of the year, there are some obvious picks that I want to avoid just throwing in there because they're easy. It's easy to say, oh, of course, Hall of Legends Kai'Sa is one of the worst skins of the year. It's easy to say the Mythic Scams are the worst skins of the year. It's easy to say that hilariously overpriced gacha skins, or the Exalted skins, are the worst skins of the year. Like, those are easy. So I'm throwing all of those just in a bundle at the start. And for reasons that are obvious, these are not worth their price in any retrospect. They're not worth their price in any aspect at all, especially something like Kai'Sa. I can't believe that this happened again, but there was enough people that bought the Ari one, and surely there was enough people that bought this one. Though I admittedly have seen this skin like maybe twice ever, whereas I saw Ari a lot more. So I don't know if maybe that sentiment has gone down or because faker bias wasn't there. It didn't sell as much, but still, this sucks. And the fact that it's Kai'Sa when it's meant for Uzi, and even as little as I know about Uzi, I know that Uzi's the Vayne guy. So the fact that they chose Kai'Sa over his signature champion, to me, it's, they just want to milk this for as much money as they could possibly get because Kai'Sa's the more popular character. So, very, very icky to me. Mythic Scams. have been a prevalent thing this year. And I think some have varied in quality more than others. I think the most recent ones, at least the Sunken Shadows, feel like their own thing in a way. They feel like skins of skins. I would actually really, really like Sunken Shadows if they were priced like how Legendary variants were back in the day. You know, if you bought the base skin, then you'd get another one. You get the other one at a discount, right? 1350 RP, or either way, they're the same price as a normal Legendary because it's a skin of a skin. You're paying for a skin of something you already own. Why is it so expensive? And a lot of them, especially at the start of this year, like this, Quantum Galaxy Slayer Z especially, or Galaxy Slayer Z in general, has just been completely just drained dry for every cent it's worth in like every Riot game. It's ridiculous. So I'm sick of seeing this guy. And then this, you know, Exalted skins. It's obvious why this just sucks, man. That's way too expensive for what the fact that Legendary skins got worse to prop these up to make them look better, and then the fact that these were getting progressively worse as the year went on was like it was already bad with Jinx, and then it just got worse with Set, less quality, even more so with Sanu's Almor, and then even more so with Morgana. Like it was crazy. I could not believe that it just. There's a reason they were all getting delayed. And that Viego was supposed to be out this year, and that's getting massively delayed till next year. And while I appreciate them delaying them and going back, like with Jinx, to go and add new fixes, there will never be a digital cosmetic worth $250. I'm sorry. It's just not worth it. Even as I remember back when Gun Goddess Misfortune came out, and people were pissed off that it only had 4 forms. And Riot decreased the price because it wasn't the same value as what they made with Elementalist Lux before. We're well past that age. Anyway, that's about it for those honorable mentions. Now we can get into the actual honorable mentions. And I have one in here that mainly comes from a place of disappointment. It was Arcana Aurora. And I don't think it's horrible. But I think especially when you compare it to the skin she got in Water at the same time. And the fact she also got a skin before Smolder feels really weird. It's just kind of boring. That's why I put it in honorable mention. I don't think it's terrible. I just... To me, there's like, is that the best you could do? Just kind of feels like a weird alternate take on her base skin. The hat shape's the same, the ear shape, most of it just feels so similar to base Aurora. It feels just kind of forgettable. Yeah, it's just not that interesting. So, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but one of the most whatever skins, and especially when you compare it to Melio, whose his post-launch skins were, Rain Shepherd, Winter Wonder. Oh my goodness, that's a character who got amazing post-launch skins. But then Aurora just And final honorable mention. I can't put this in the list because technically it didn't even release, but it deserves a special spotlight. Good old Grand Reckoning Alistar. Yeah, what do I need to say, man? What do I even need to say? The last time a skin was so bad it got canceled was Sown Chaos, Blitzcrank, and a Mumu, and those weren't even that terrible. This was literally a chroma. It just had the benefit that with the textures that they had, the way that they changed the colors gave off the illusion it wasn't just a chroma. You had to actually look at it for a second and go, oh wait, it actually is a chroma. Oh, shoot. And the fact that it's also a lore skin feels bad. Like, this finally would have been an opportunity to see Alistar as a Reckoner. Why was Sown Chaos canceled? Same reason this one was. Because it didn't meet the air quotes quality standard that Riot had at the time, which is crazy to think of. But yeah, they were just like, they did not meet their quality standard, so-called. They had a splash art and everything. They were all finished, and they were canceled. This one was canceled too. So... Yet, though, it's still in Arena to this day. You can still see it there. So it's in the game files. I just surprised if it was that bad and it was in the free battle pass reward. Just give it away for free anyway. It's already been made. It's already there. You can't hide that you did it, and you're not going back to fix it, which I was hoping they were going to do with a bunch of these because they went back to fix the black because they went back to fix the Black Rose skins, but they never went back to the Reckoning skins or some of the Spirit Blossom stuff. So I was just give it away. Just it's like, here you go, everyone, just have it. So, we're sorry. You can just take it. Just use it to your heart's content. And that way it becomes a so bad it's good almost. Which leads me into my actual number 10. And I have said before on these little ranking things that for the sake of diversity in the rankings, I usually like to keep it to one skin per skin line of the year. Because in some cases, some of the best skins are all from one skin line. Some of the worst are all from one. You know, Infernal comes out, they're all kind of meh. But honorable mention is where I can cheat. I'm already talking about so bad it's good. It's a skin it's a skin that admittedly is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me, but I cannot deny this is the epitome of why the Battle Pass skins at the start did not work. What if we made Noxian Scion? Ooh. Next, we're gonna get Demacian Garen and Ionian Yone. Ooh. It's just, what are we doing here, man? What is this? It just feels so lazy. It's just all the complaints of how the Black Rose skins felt too similar. At least with them, they had Renata and they had Ezreal. They had something. But this skin was all Noxians. It was just Rel and Talon and Scion. And Scion, I think, is the worst offender. Because this doesn't even make any goddamn sense. Like, Reckoner, Scion, they're trying to make all of them lore-themed too, right? At least with the new ones that just came out that we had with Petricite, Cho'Gath, Nautilus. Those are all just what-if, hypothetical. They're stand-ins, right? They're not actually supposed to be the Cho'Gath, the Nautilus. This is supposed to be the Scion. When do you... This is clearly post-resurrection Scion. He has the furnace. Why did they throw him in the Reckoning Pits? Why did they give Scion armor? It's so silly. It's so dumb. The splash looked good, but that's for everybody. That's actually a fantastic segue to the number 9 pick that I have here, because this is an absolutely incredible splash art for my number 9 pick. I just think it hurts because I think this character deserved a fantastic skin, but my God, I think the execution of it in game for how ambitious they were just didn't pan out, and it makes me very sad. And that's Reindeer Smolder. Like, I feel, how can I put this as number 9 when the splash art looks like that? He looks so cute. He looks so cute. They did it, like the concept and the ambition is so good. I love what they were going for here. And like they really committed to it with the hoof feet and the little tiny tail, replacing it there. But it's no, it's no. Is he supposed to be Rudolph? That I feel like he's supposed to be Rudolph, but he just looks like he has a cold, or he got punched in the nose. You know, it's so cursed. Like look at him, and then look at him, precious, beautiful, charming, little goober boy. Then you look at him. That's what you get. They tried. And that's why I feel bad, because they tried. It was incredibly ambitious. And there's a lot of fun ideas. I really like him having the little deer tail, but the Christmas lights and the star being the replacement of his old tail. It's very, very creative. It's just that it doesn't work when Smolder has a face like this and anatomy like this. It feels uncanny. Like, deer do not sit like that. They don't look like that. It's cursed. It's cursed beyond all measure. Which, if that was the point, then I would like it for that. Some things do look cursed on purpose. This is not supposed to look cursed. It's supposed to be whimsical and fill you with Christmas spirit. And I feel bad because I think he deserved it. I think Smolder deserved an amazing post-launch skin, and it just didn't come together in the end. The splash art did. I think the splash art is amazing. So I won't knock it for them for that, but that just makes me very sad. And now for number 8. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, because at least I don't have the smoking gun that I don't have the smoking gun that Smolder did. But you fellas know Spirit Blossom Springs is not my thing. The fan servicing skin line, it's not to my taste, but I can appreciate a few of them. I think a few of them are done very well for what they're trying to go for. They're trying to be very sexy fan service skins. That being said, one of them I think absolutely blunders the fan service in every way. That's not him. That's the wrong one. You're supposed to be at number 6. Anyway, number 6 is Visions of the Fallen Garen. Number 6, Visions of the Fallen Garen. There goes my whole intro. Anyway. Professional streamer, that's me. That's only because I wrote, I have them numbered, and I put Garen and the other one as number 8. So it's fine. We'll come back to you, Garen. Well, spoilers. Pretend you didn't see it. Pretend to be surprised in the next one, okay? It's Setri. This is boring, man. This is fucking boring, man. I'm sorry. Set is already fan servicey. He's already there. He has the big open shirt, the tight pants. He has the scarlet. Like, he's already designed to be fan servicey. And I know people are horny for the splasher. I get it. The abs, like Jesus Christ, the veins. I get it. But then they also try to sell this to me as this is a battle damaged, broken Set who's coming to the spa to heal himself because his mom just forced him to go there to relax. Really? Bruised and broken, you say? Let me get the exact description actually, so it doesn't look like I'm lying. Set. Setri. After an injury in the fighting rings, forced Set onto the sidelines, his mother sent him to the Spirit Blossom Springs to recuperate. It's a hard road to recovery. Recovery from what? Recovery from what? From where? And the thing is, they never put scars on anybody, man. That would have been so cool to have all the scars all over his body to show, like, oh, this is actual battle damage, bruised, broken Set actually trying to heal from his wounds. And then the Mist gets the similar vibe to me that Reindeer Smolder does, where I get what they were going for. They're trying to have the Mist. It's like, oh, it's the Mist of the Springs, the hot springs mist up there, in place of his fur. Clever workaround. I'll give him that. However, in-game, bro, that's Jello. It's just a gelatinous mass. It does not look good. It's cotton candy. It is just... And the funny thing is, too, you can have him, like, you know, big and shirtless, all the arm stuff. When you look at him from this angle, and they had to fix it, too, because there was more of it initially.
so much of the fan service was getting covered up because the mist was just occupying so much of his area. So you couldn't even see the fan service. And again, it feels redundant for Set. Set's already an inherently fan servicey character, so he just did it again. So it feels boring to me. I feel like you could have picked any other character. It's like if they did with Silas as well. Silas would have been in the same boat. He's already shirtless. Even Pantheon. There's a lot of characters you could have done this differently with. Like, if you did this for Darius or something, like you made a fan servicey Darius skin, or Garen or something. Garen's kind of boring. I don't like Garen as much, but you know, someone who doesn't have a fan servicey skin. For Set, it just feels kind of redundant. Which I know is not going to be a popular opinion, because I know a lot of people really like this one. for reasons that are beyond my ace brain to comprehend. Is the monkey? Oh, the monkeys are good just in general. I make Garen less boring.
Hello.
Can't imagine why I chose number 6. Well, technically we're on to number 7, which has nothing to do with the one that I didn't show earlier by accident. Number 7. I don't know if anyone is going to even remember this happened. But this one hurts me because I think the concept is cool. But by God, is the execution ever just lame. Because the scaling also got done dirty. It got the Odyssey treatment, where it was a scaling that was relatively well liked and had an important big event in terms of this one. It was for MSI. Brought in MSI, big event, legendary skin, whole bunch of new skins, whole new aesthetic. It was really cool. Brought back again, zero fanfare at all. It's just, we're back again, and you guys are figuring out it's Ink Shadow. And my pick is Renekton. And this is what the Riot art team, the splash art team especially, they are great. This looks pretty cool in the splash art. It looks cool. Remove that Ink Shadow logo and tell me, like honestly tell me, you could in any world tell this is an Ink Shadow skin without that logo up there. What about this is Ink Shadow besides the logo? Nothing. Literally nothing. And then the fact that is false irony. Look at that gradient patterning, right? Kind of the purple at the top, leading into the beige white here at the bottom. I should just have this model viewer tab open all the time. This is this is so helpful. Renekton. Where'd it go? Where'd the gradient go? Aha. He's a flesh monster. Now here's the funny thing. The biography. Renekton's river runs black with sludge and urban waste, slowing away at the river spirit until only the rage remains. As his polluted waters, Renekton punishes his enemies with ruthless fury. And I think using the idea of a pollution monster as like black sludge in replacement of ink is really creative and cool. That's a fun new way to use the skin line without just repeating, oh, it's just paint. It's reminiscent of paint, but it's not. It's toxic and corrosive. Would you ever be able to tell that from that he is essentially a spirit god of pollution? Where? What? Where? Nothing. And that's, yeah, Zack would have been so cool as an actual manifestation of that pollution, of the sludge. He would have been a perfect fit. Yeah, it's a fun twist on the sewer gator. That's what I mean. Like, the concept is there, and it's intriguing. I really like the idea, but the execution is no. That's just an albino crocodile, and you slap the Ink Shadow logo on him. Gave him a Chosen of the Wolf mask. It's what upset me. I was so. The idea is so cool, and I feel like they just fumbled it completely. Naked Renekton, that's all I see. Well, you know, they did the Volibear ones. They could have probably done a Spirit Blossom Springs Renekton. Or Nasus. I bet that would have sold. Something about Kindred not getting chosen the Wolf Legendary? Yeah. That one still stings even a year later. Number 6 is one that you didn't see before. So please pretend that this build-up is actually impactful and it's going to be a surprise. No, I'm not going to bother. No, it's that. I'm a failure. Vision of the Fallen Garen. I forgot it was back. I forgot it was back. I forgot it was back there. Vision of the Fallen Garen. See, now it's gonna look bad because I can't explain myself about about the other one. Who would have guessed it's Garen? What a shocker. Yeah, this stinks. Which, again, I really like the idea. I think this was what I was hoping for they would do with Battle Pass skins is actual swapping the aesthetics of the character to a different region, or in this case, a different species entirely. But of all the Demacians, Jarvan has the really fun blend of meshing him with Galio together. Tryndamere at least has the backstory with Aatrox. Garen? Yeah, Vision of the Fallen is supposed to be Darken. That's what it's... So technically, this is not Garen anymore. It is whatever Darken is in this sword here is just taking over. And you could say maybe he has the helmet that looks kind of like Quinn. But the face is too human. I give Zehen a pass because Zehen, his host, in this case was Xin Zhao, willingly gave up his body. So he makes more sense to look more human. This is way too human looking for a Darken. As just a fleshy looking Garen, I like the flesh scarf-ish, and they did some cool work with the visual effects, but it's just boring. And I know Shyvana's getting a visual update, but like, you're telling me really like a Darken Silas wouldn't have been awesome? A Darken Shyvana? Hell, Stratu. You ever seen Stratu? The Darken from LOR. I know they're in Piltover, so doesn't count. But they're the Darken Harp. Sona. Right there, dude. Darken Sona, and that's how you bring Stratu into the game. That would have been sick. That's Stratu. I'm saying that could have been Sona. That could have been a Sona skin. Have Darken Sona, and it was like, that's how you bridge LOR together. You have a cool collaboration there. Would have been so sick. And then they just went with Garen. It's just by nature of Garen. Garen just has the nature that most of his ideas are just... He's just sword guy. So most of the time he's sword guy. And there's not really anything special about it. Again, at least Tryndamere, he has that Aatrox connection. There's something there. I don't think it's particularly great. How it sell? Well, this one was a Battle Pass skin, wasn't it? Or no, it was No, this one was paid. You had to buy this one. Right? For some reason, the Arcana skins were the Battle Pass skins, and the actual Season of the Darkened skins were paid. I have not seen a single soul use this skin. I've not seen anybody with this. And I think that's for good reason. Mandatory ball cucks mention. I guess I have to, right? Anyway, on to number 6, which I also spoiled, but technically didn't, because number 6 is a two-parter. And that's mostly because Spirit Blossom Bard isn't really number 6. Isn't really. Or number 5. I'm losing track. Spirit Blossom Bard isn't really number 5. Spirit Blossom Bard just has a similar theming to it. Because I don't think this skin is terrible. It's just fine. It's like a C grade skin, like a D+. It's okay. The thing is, something being just okay for Bard is way more of an outlier than something just being okay for Garen or being okay for any other characters to get a ton of skins. Bard has one of the best well-rounded skin lines or skin. Bard has one of the most consistently great skin catalogs in the entire game. And so when something like this happens, it feels like, oh, kind of tainted the skin line a bit. And that's the segue, because even though it's not the real number 5, it has the similar feeling to what I feel has happened to another champion who once had one of the most consistently best skin catalogs in the entire game. This makes me sad. You could argue the other Jin skins are just, they're like good or decent, right? Arcana Jin is pretty good. I quite like that one. This one felt just, of all the characters to recycle animations, Jin, this one was legendary, yes. You can barely tell half the time, though. And the unfortunate whole thing of that they couldn't get the original voice actor back, so it doesn't have the same sound as Jin. And the fact that it's Year of the Snake, and they gave the legendary to Jin. Four? Well, I couldn't put Jin at number 4. He's known about, he's known for the number 5. That's what he's known for. Sorry, I had to put him at number 5. It just, yeah. It makes me very sad. Jin was on such a high pedestal, even when they put him in other games, right? They put him in LOR, and Pulsefire, Tyre Done to Death skin line, still looks awesome there. They put him in Wild Rift, and he gets Super Villain Jin. That was amazing. It's one of my most wanted skins that they poured over to PC. And now we get to here. Whole bunch of recycled animations for a skin line that's already been done. Doesn't really offer anything unique in the skin line. Doesn't bring back the original voice actor back, and a whole bunch of recycled animations. It feels bad. This one just, it hurts my soul to see him done dirty like this. It was not fun. Then we go on to number 4. Speaking of dirty, that's a good segue to number 4. Well, the champion's dirty. I guess they got done dirty. Yeah, how else do I segue this? I don't know. This one feels like cheating because I mentioned Alistar. But that one got canceled, so it actually is not cheating. Pool Party Twitch. Dude, they were right there. The pool rat. They had it. It was obvious. The water gun. The fact that it's the gross guy who goes to the pool and doesn't shower first. And it's basically just a color palette swap with a new gun that's still a crossbow for some reason. And the whole Battle Pass splasher thing where it very clearly did not have the budget to have the actual complex backgrounds and composition that the other ones do. It feels like a TFT splash art, which is also even disingenuous because a lot of the time the TFT splash arts would look amazing. Disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Well, that's what I mean. It's not even say the idea is good for this. The idea of a pool party Twitch is good. Which hurts even more so, yeah, because Malphite released, like only a few patches before this? Just completely stood it up. Just like, nope. Okay, well, that's a good pool party skin. This one just felt terrible. And this one felt lazy. We had a lot of bad skins, but this one just felt lazy. Like, is that really all you could do? This is what the Battle Pass skins are? This? He has so many other great skins, too. To compare to, like, he got the Winter Wonder one. That one is incredible. I love that one. Anyway, that's number 4. Now we get on to number 3. And this one hurts because there were leaks surrounding it saying it was going to be what it wasn't. And you can't fault people for wanting it to be that certain way. Though I do fault people for assuming it will be because so said that it was going to be. But the missed opportunity hurts me so much here. There were leaks going around that Nightbringer Yumi was going to be a legendary. And I think it would have benefited from that, but also I think Yumi should have gotten a legendary skin that is an evil Yumi. But just not have it be Nightbringer, man. We finally got an opportunity to act on that meme. Everyone knows the meme that Yumi's the parasite. Yumi's evil. She died. It's like she's Satan because everyone hates how she plays, even though she's just a cute, cuddly cat. We finally had the opportunity to make a meme skin where she is evil. And you just went with Nightbringer. You went with the most bland.
Hello.
You went with pizza with no toppings. You went with nothing. You did nothing. It's just the same old Nightbringer you've done a billion times. They gave eye to the book, the Eyes anime. That's something. But out of all the things you could have done to make an evil Yumi, that's it. That's all you could come up with. And then missing the opportunity, even if they were going to give her Nightbringer, which, if fine, if you're going to stick with that, giving her a legendary and actually giving her evil voice lines and evil animations, and when she lashes onto people, she laughs and belittles whoever person she's attached to, like, yes, give me your life essence, I'll take it all. Like, that would have been at least fun to give it a legendary and all those new animations and visual effects, voice lines, all that stuff, but it's just an epic skin. And that's not the fault of people, I mean, people assuming it was going to be a legendary. I think regardless of whether or not it was leaked it was going to be, it should have been. Absolutely. And just a horribly missed opportunity. And it feels like nothing because of that. There's no substance. The most easy method you could have gone to make an evil Yumi skin. So it feels lacking as a result. Halloween's better. Halloween's not even evil though, but Halloween is also just fun. It's silly and goofy. I'm talking like an actual evil Yumi skin. Or even one like Little Devil Timo. You're playing for jokes, right? You can have jokey evil. You can do that too. It just feels that's the obvious direction they should have gone. A corporate Yumi, that could be funny too. And now for number 2, which choosing between number 2 and number 1 was really, really difficult because they both hurt me in very unique ways. But I think you know which one of these is gonna be. And honestly, I could go either way on either of them. But we already know. You guys can tell. Yeah, you know. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. I cannot believe they canceled Alistar and let this go to live. And that you have to pay for the battle pass to get it, no less. At least Alistar did a decent job at first glance not looking like a chroma. It is just a chroma. And they changed the flower on his head. And Ivern is such a great fit for this skin line too. It would have been amazing to have this skin line. Have him be the world tree. Like if you're gonna have it be take it in Ionia's past, like a manifestation of that. Or even be Ivern returning to Ionia, he's helping to guide these spirits along their path. You know, he could have done so many cool things. And he doesn't have the benefit that Alistar does. Alistar got an amazing new skin this year as well, and already has an established back catalog of skins because he's so old. Ivern barely gets anything. And I know that Riot says that the Battle Pass skins aren't going to interfere with the actual frequency champions get skins. But it's Ivern. And how many of the champions who got Battle Pass skins this year got another skin? Oh, that was probably like Lux was up there. Zed was up there. All the really popular champions. Yeah, I had so much hope because they went back to go fix the Black Rose skins. They would go back to fix Ivern. And they didn't. So, it's going to be another 4 years before I get to the next one. That really hurts because I love it. It's my guy. It's my guy. It feels like this skin gives me the feeling that they don't give a shit about this guy. That's the impression. It's like, no, we don't care. Just whatever. Throw it in there. Who cares? It feels like a gut punch, even more so than Twitch. At least Twitch has a lot of skins. Ivern barely has anything. So for the one skin he gets every once in a blue moon, complete gut punch. It hurts. But it's not number one. Because there is one skin that hurt me more than this. Surprisingly. There's a skin that upset me more than this. I'm going to do my stretch real quick, though, so I'll let you hang in suspense while I do my stretch. I know it sounds crazy because I did mention that I was going to put all of the other ones, like the Exalted skins and all the Mythic scams and the all that stuff. I would put also on the honorable mention, so it's not any of those, right? So there's something else. You'll never guess what it is. Is what I would say if I was a fucking liar. This skin is fine, though. It is now. There's a reason I'm using the launch artwork. This was basically a legendary. This was just a legendary. Wrapped in an exalted foil for a skin that's been wanted in League since Mordekaiser was introduced as a rework. The whole theming was themed around him. He showed up in the comics. It was clearly very important. And not only was it locked behind that gacha foil, the skin itself was shit. It was so shit, they had to delay it. They had to completely rework the entire first form and give it all these other crazy particles. The exaltedness of it was his mace getting a couple extra spikes. It doesn't help that I was busy with my thesis work. I was already on the fence because I was on the thesis work. This is what got me to take my break. I was like, okay, maybe I should take a break because of my thesis work, but I'm still having fun. No, I'm out. I need a break. I can't believe this. I can't believe this is what they're doing now. And it's better now. For sure. They made it much better with the different forms of the first form and second form. But I am telling you, man. Where's my damn model viewer? I'll just say it. Because Mord will sometimes have like kind of mini transformations during the ult. Like Project Mord does this, right? Give me this. And he goes into this form during the ult. Legendary skin, boom, done. I would have paid money for that easily. Easily. I like, oh, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, Sanu's all Mordekaiser. There we go. That's awesome. But they just have to tack on this, which is the second form. Why the thighs here? Like, for no reason at all. I get they're trying to go for the more like Genghis Khan kind of barbarian look. That's what they're going for. But it works a bit better here. It didn't look nearly like this in the in the old version. It looked significantly worse than this. I need to get the trailer. I need to it got pointed out to me for the first time. Where is the gameplay trailer? Because this was when it got revamped, I think, right?
Grovel before me.
They didn't even fucking green screen it. Look at it. They did green screen it. There's still the edges. They didn't. Oh! I can't believe it. Like I could not believe it. Yeah. To me, easily the worst skin. As much as Iron upsets me, at least Iron was a nothing throwaway chroma, whatever. This was like, we're not gonna get another Sanuzal Mordekaiser. I feel like maybe if they might pull a Jinx and adjust it and change it, but it's still not gonna be worth $250, man. What the hell was that? Thank you, Bear. I'm losing it. Yes, thank you. Even if it comes back, I'm not paying for that. I just wish it was a legendary, man. I wanted so badly to have Sanuzal Mordekaiser as a skin, and they just completely fumbled the bag. Hell, it's gonna be hard to let that go. But I think that's about all of them. I think that's all. Oh, wait. Forgot to mention. Even after all that heartache is like, oh, the skin's not great. The LOR version's still better. I'll say it. LOR version's still better than what we got. I would have just rathered this. Even after all that, they didn't even have the best Sanuzal Mordekaiser design out there. LORW like always. Well, that's it. That is the top 10 worst skins of the year. But that's just my opinion, as usual. If you fellas have your own, let me know down in the comments below. Maybe you completely disagree with me or have your own entire separate list. And hopefully I'll see you next time for the most missed potential skins of the year, which is always fun to do because that one's a bit more speculative. So, outro. This means nothing for you guys watching, by the way. This is just completely meaningless garbage because you're still here. See you on the YouTube video. Matches the Senna skin. That one is a good... There's some other ones that I was considering. There's a lot of skins I was considering, actually. Behind the curtain. I was about to leave stream. Yeah, no, we gotta do the other ones. I do the most missed potential. This year sucked. This year did have some good skins. There's just a lot of bad skins, though. Alright, recording again. I'm not putting up the actual one because it's kind of a spoiler. Fellas, welcome. Now we're done. We're not done yet. We're not done at all. Now that we've done the... I'm a failure. Now that we've done the top 10 worst skins of 2025, now we get to look at the top 10 most missed potential skins of the year. And this one's always kind of a bit of a contentious subject because if I did miss potential just saying, oh, I think this skin could have been better, it was just kind of okay. In that end, it just becomes kind of an extended top 10 best. Or in that case, it kind of just becomes an extended top 10 worst. That's not really super interesting, I think. So what I usually do for the top 10 most missed potential skins is instead pitching skin ideas for skin lines that came out this year and saying, hey, how come this champion wasn't a part of that skin line? So it kind of gets the brain thinking, kind of gets the brain moving, you know? What would we have liked to see this year? I do want to do a little bit of a twist on this time because, well, I do want to mention that. Usually I don't have honorable mentions for it. However, this time I do, because I'd like to introduce, for the honorable mentions of most missed potential, is skins from the other Riot IPs that I think should have happened. And we got number 1. Why was this a TFT chibi only? I don't get why this wasn't even in the battle pass or something. I don't get it. It's the lore skin. This goes double for Zahen as well, by the way. The comic version of Yunara and Zahen in the past, not even how they looked. Technically, this is the myth version of them, right? That's why it's Spirit Blossom. But yeah, TFT got this as a chibi, and nowhere else. I would have preferred this, and I know people like the Spirit Blossom skin. I just have a personal gripe with a champion's launch skin being fan service. You want to do it down the road, even if it's second skin, whatever. I don't know how to describe it. I get the feeling. I get this feeling when a champion's first skin is fan service that it gives me the impression they didn't have confidence it would sell. They had to take the easy way out. That's how I feel when that happens. That's how you get Pool Party Zoe. Very different. That's a child. That is incredibly creepy that Zoe got a Pool Party skin so close to release. I'll still... that still creeps me out. Is even fan service the character has no fans yet? No, I'm fan service. You know what I mean. Anyway, I think Spirit Blossom Yunara would have been nice to have the lore skin. Doubling down on TFT, kind of. You guys, not really. No, not every. I'm saying just put a Yunara in a swimsuit for her launch skin just feels kind of like surely you had more faith in her than that, guys. It's like if they launched, set with Spirit. Although, imagine if Volibear was a new champion, they launched him with Spirit Blossom Springs Volibear. It'd be the same thing. So, okay, we're going to sell this champion purely on that when that's not really what their character is about. It feels like it overtakes the original concept. Anyway, second honorable mention is TFT, but kind of not really. Because it's actually from not TFT. It's from Golden Spatula, believe it or not. If anyone isn't aware, China has its own special version of TFT called Battle for the Golden Spatula, and they have been cranking out cosmetics. If you think that TFT gets a lot, you have no idea how much the Golden Spatula gets. But they did have a few that I did like. For the most part, I'm not overly fond of the Golden Spatula chibis. Mostly because they lean into a lot of the same tropes that Wild Rift does a lot. They're very mobile gamey feel. They kind of delve into the same aesthetics as usual. And they had one that felt like it was overlapping a lot with a lot of previous aesthetics, which was Perfume Gem was what it was called. It was just kind of a business salesman, fancy salespeople selling all their cosmetics, right? And it got me thinking, oh yeah, what do you mean we don't have a slimy businessman Tom Kench yet? And never mind a skin that gives him an actual mustache. It's like, of course. The gem, of course. That just makes sense. The corporate Tom Kench just makes sense. I can't believe that they didn't do that yet. I think it's a bit too much for me. This skin specifically, like the tongue and there's too much. It's again, what I mean by very mobile game. A lot of unneeded decoration where it's not needed, but the idea of an actual corporate Tom Kench, that just makes sense. Yeah, Mundo's rival is perfect, and he's a salesman. He's an owner of a big corporation. He's trying to sell you all these products. Kind of like how Tom Kench is trying to sell you all these promises of what he'll offer you. They'll give you riches and fame and power if you just trust me. It's like the same vibes. I think it's great. I'm very surprised that they didn't do it. I'm very surprised that we don't have one yet, and that Golden Spatula of all things was the first to actually get there. Cool. It's yeah, because this one is just kind of debonair, right? It's similar vibe. I'm saying mainly that it's just like, oh, of course, this should have happened. An idea like this should have happened for sure. Next one is a Wild Rift skin. Because I did really like this one. And there's the... Yes. No, I have two other Wild Rift honorable mentions. And one, I think it could have been executed slightly better. I think mainly it's because the animations are a bit too floaty for what it's trying to be. But like, goddamn, dude. We haven't had proper mecha in a while. Not like Mecha Kingdoms or whatever. Like proper mecha. And Volibear, very damn good. And what I really like about this one, too, is that it plays into what Mecha Urgot established. If you guys don't remember Mecha Urgot in Wild Rift, they designed it so that Mecha Urgot is the skeleton of Crabgot. They kind of built this mech around Crabgot in that way. And that is a really clever nod to one of the Godzilla films of the Millennium era. There's a Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla is what it was called. They did the same thing, where they built this new Mecha Godzilla Kiryu around the bones of the original Godzilla. The thing is, in that movie, for some reason the bones still have a bit of Godzilla's DNA. And at some point during the movie, Mecha Godzilla becomes Godzilla again. Like, it gains the memories of its past. Like, oh wait, I'm Godzilla, and it starts destroying stuff. You ever wonder why this mech has this big glowing red eye? In the same vein that Kiryu, when turning into the Mecha Godzilla, getting its memories back, gets big glowing red eyes. That's what Mecha Volibear is. That's what same idea as Urgot. Skeleton of a mech, skeleton of a kaiju, mech built around it. Kaiju gains its memories back, and now it's a kaiju with all the powers of the mech. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. And it gave Volibear Legendary, which he doesn't have yet, which I'm actually surprised he doesn't have one yet, by the way. Cool as hell. I think that the animations are a bit off. A lot of his walk cycle is really floaty. I don't think they sell the weight of him as well as Scion does. It's still really cool, though. And a lot of the Mexicans were really cool as hell. I really like Maokai as well. Nihilus is pretty cool, too. Nocturne, but still really cool to see them back. Terminator reference bit. And the other Wilder skin I have is what I think some people might have forgotten about, but my God, is it ever charming. I love Weather Entity Oriana. I love this one for her. This is so great. And the Weather Entity skins are they're all right. They're kind of mixed. They're meant to embody certain elements of storms and weather, where Ezreal is sunshine. Eventually, the Prestige skin is the rainbow, and Vladimir he's rain somehow, even though he looks like he's supposed to be hail. Aatrox is lightning and thunder, and and Oriana is wind. And I think what they did really well with this is one that she is wind, so obviously her little spinning thing here where the skirt normally is. A little tornado, a little hurricane, that's cool. But you notice she's still robotic. And in fact, there's a lot of plastic here. That's not glass, that's plastic. Dude, she's literally one of those kids' toys. The little dolls. You pull the string and they go and they start flying in the air. They spin around. She even has the little top. She has the little wind-up part here. She has the skirt that spins it around. And the elaborate dress and everything. And it plays into her being like a robot, but she's a toy. It's perfect. It's so perfect. It's great. Like it's like it plays into her theme from Base League super well. Not having to sacrifice it, fits the theme really well, and also if you're gonna have a wind themed god here, having it be related to an actual toy that uses air and wind to its advantage, super clever. That's what I feel with the other weather entities, especially Aatrox and a few of them. They don't feel like the idea was as solid, but with Ori, it just feels like, oh yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing with this. And I love it for that. And final honorable mention I don't have a picture of it because there is no official art of it, and now that we got Spirit Blossom Springs, it doesn't really matter, but 2XKO made Pool Party Ari. At that point, right, you made it. Just get your money. You broke the emergency glass. Just take it, man. Who cares? The deed's done. It exists. It's real. So just get it over with. It's 2x KO. You don't remember? I think I can find. There it is. It's not even that like great, but it's real now. They did it. Pool Party Ari's a real thing. She's a lifeguard. You did it. People liked it because it's Ari in a swimsuit. There's always like the break glass in case of emergency funds. So I'm shocked they didn't pour it over, but I assume it's probably because they did Spirit Blossom Springs at the same time. So I get it. Hey, fan service. Polar opposite of fan service. The next one I have is the actual top 10 is where we begin. So, my number 10 pick is to do with Masked Justice. Anyone remember this one who didn't play TFT? This is the Power Rangers Super Sentai skin line. And we had Senna and Lucian and Yone. Yone, I'd argue, is actually pretty great. But then we have Senna and Lucian, who are not great.
Hello.
And then we got Karma and Jarvan in TFT. For some reason, they're exclusive to TFT. Still don't know why. My pick isn't them. My pick is actually because what is practically the entire base episode premise, the formula for Power Rangers and Super Sentai? Like, what do they do? I take water. Big mecha, yep. Which TFT did with Galio, which that was clever. But they do something else. What do they do with that mecha? You're gonna have all these heroes. Where's the monster of the week? Where's your villain? Where's your Goldar? Where's anything? Where are the every time they do this, and that's why I actually it's a good comparison. That's why I really like Star Guardian Season 3. Because they had Season 1 and 2, and there's just a whole ton of Star Guardians. And then Season 3 introduces actual antagonists to fight besides just nameless recolored void monsters. And it fleshed out the world significantly. With Zaya, Rakan, Zoe. It was great. Even Syndra, but actual villains. They keep making skin lines with these big superhero teams without any villains to fight. And you could do just, if you want just a big kaiju, you know, you want to put a Skarner in there, you want Crab God in there, sure. But you also should have an actual villain for them to fight. It just feels super weird. It makes the skill line feel empty and incomplete. Even more so than it already does, because Senna and Lucian just kind of reuse the face model they have. T-Hex, now that's what I'm talking about. Kaiju Victor, you could do some crazy stuff. You could do some cool things with some Mass Justice villains. So technically this doesn't just extend to only Mass Justice, but it fits where I'm going with on this. You know, just in general moving forward, having no villains to fight in these big superhero team-up skins makes it feel a lot more lifeless in comparison. We want a monster villain or both? I'd say both. Anyway, number 9. This is one that I'm surprised didn't happen. And it's kind of related to Spirit Blossom Yunara, actually. While I do very much appreciate, and actually do quite like, Arcane Counselor Mel, really weird we didn't get a skin of Mel from Act 2, or from Season 2, which is the design that we got in TFT. Because she was added to TFT before she was added to League, and she had this design. It's just weird to me. Probably breaks the design space with the cloak. I think that's why, is because she didn't have the cloak, which I still will stand by. The cloak is just kind of silly to me. feels... It works for Arcane Counselor Mel, but for where Mel is now, it's strange. Or if you want to keep the cloak, and you want to have like a post-Act 2 or Mel or whatever... I saved it here, actually, I think, in my notes. Look at this. Look at this fan art someone did. You know? Black Rose Mel. That feels that feels like that works. You could have this be the skin, and then have a design closer to the actual Arcane version. Or even, hell, the version from Bite Marks, dude, or the end of Arcane Season 2. I don't need any explained. I know how it ends. Oh, Savika. Oh. Look how cool she looks here. Where's her whole outfit? Oh, damn, she looks so cool. I think it shows up in Bite Marks too, right? If I'm misremembering. Look at her. She looks so cool. She still got a cloak. It's just not the big fancy dress. She looks so cool here. And then if you want to have this kind of fancy aristocratic skin, you have the Arcane Counselor version, or you used kind of her infiltrating the Black Rose like that. Either way works. It just feels strange. Again, I mentioned this when I was talking on stream earlier, that Mel feels like she was introduced to the League and then just, goodbye. We're done with you. Your story's over now. Goodbye. We gotta move on to everything else. We gotta move on to Yunara. And LeBlanc's the actual real main character. She's just abandoned. She ended up making her feel more just like a segue to the story than anything else, which is a shame. Number 8 now. This one's kind of meant to be a rearranging of things in a way, because I know a lot of people like this skin specifically. There's Spirit Blossom Springs Aphelios. And I know people make the jokes of like, oh, Aphelios, oh yeah, he's a twink. No, he's not. No, he is not. By no metric is he at all. He's buff as shit, dude. He's huge. He's beefy as hell. Where is Aphelios? He's muscled like crazy. And so they try to make him so much thinner. Well, now he's just Dorito shaped. And he's still got the big muscles there too. Like he's not even really twinky here either. Look at him. Big forearms. Big chest. Dorito shape. It's weird. But then the splash art is clearly, look at that. Splash art's really misleading. And I know that they got one for Spirit Blossom, technically. And I imagine they probably did this because they want to have Set and Aphelios together again. You know, like they would for Kate and Vi or whoever. Do you know how crazy people would have gone for a Spirit Blossom Spring... Do you know how crazy people would have gotten for a Spirit Blossom Springs Hui? Like, you have an actual twink character, guys. Yeah, you could have just done that and have the watery effects there for his abilities. Springs. It feels weird that they keep trying to morph Aphelios into this character body type that he doesn't actually have, because people have that conversation.
Hey,
I think it's because they compare him to
people
Set a lot. You know,
use.
Set's
Thank you.
Titanic.
Bro, they have done more Set and Aphelios skins together than Zaya and Rakan Unique recalls.
Well, that's really because they just stopped doing them. And really, you know, Hui probably would have looked a lot cooler with more prestigious particle effects. And would have made more sense for him to have a brush. Now I'm just like picturing the brush as like a mop. Like Like he just works there. But he's like the hot custodian that all the people they oogle at while he's working. Because Aphelios has a weird thing where he's at the hot springs, he just has a whole bunch of guns. They didn't really try to work his guns into the skin line at all. They just have kind of cool, fancy looking weapons. This happens a lot of time with characters with weapons, but you know what I mean. I just think it's strange that we got Aphelios and not Hui here. And you couldn't switch places because Aphelios already has a prestige, but I mean, he got a prestige Spirit Blossom in Golden Spatula, so I don't know, it's possible. Speaking of Spirit Blossom, though, and I can go to the other Spirit Blossom prestige skin. Where the fuck is Shen? In anything? At all? Where'd he go, guys? What was he doing? What was the, where did Shen go? And I use Zed here because Zed, the skin bio for this, is basically a 1-to-1 of his League bio, just with more spirit. But it's the same general idea. Well, if you're going to do that, have basically a canon lore skin. You could have just had Shen. Like, what was he doing? That's why I made that joke in the video of like, oh yeah, it's the protector of his homeland is never involved with anything that's ever happening in his homeland. Like, he just doesn't do anything. He was there in the cinematic, led to believe he was going to show up, but he didn't. Never did. Don't know why. I'm happy Kennen got some more time in the spotlight, though. That was great. Shenanigans River. Of course. What does he even do? See, he's supposed to be the balance between the human world and the spirit world. He's supposed to be the balance between the physical realm and the spirit realm. You know, like where Yunara and Shinzao went to. Bizarre to me that he was just omitted entirely. It's so weird. Yeah, this was a mandatory. I'm just using Zed as the user of this potential. I'm just using. That's an example of the scale line. Zed just happens to relate the most. Usually the one I'm picking, you know, Aphelios. Because I'm talking about how I feel like it should have been Hui over Aphelios, or Senna, just using his mass justice, that kind of thing, right? It's too far away. Number 6? Or number 6? I do like this skin a lot. I was never expecting Mecha Kingdoms to come back. And here it is. And it was really cool. And obviously I'm biased because they threw a whole bunch of Monster Hunter references in there. But then I'm thinking, like, if you're gonna have a skin with a bunch of incredibly obvious Monster Hunter references and you didn't give it to Cassante? Guys? Come on now. He is the Monster Hunter character. That is his thing. Come on, guys. And he has the big weapons. And then there's no, like, they tried to turn Darius' axe into a charge blade. Tonfas are a thing in Monster Hunter Frontier. The Nuntofos are basically just giant Tonfas, which the Tonfas of Monster Hunter are giant anyway, so it works. It just works. It's perfect. And Kasadi's a big guy. You know, physically, he would work as a big mech. It just works. It just works. Like, I can't believe that they did it. And Darius did not need a third legendary, even though I do really like this skin. Again, I do really like it. Just flabbergasted that Cassante didn't get it.
Oh, hello.
Losing it over Monster Hunter compilation when there's probably many times it's happened. Cassante exists, totally forgot about it. It doesn't help that they've nerfed him into the ground. He's just a bouncing nightmare. This is completely separate from how much of a balancing nightmare Cassante is. I'm just saying, I cannot think of a more perfect skin for Cassante than a Monster Hunter inspired one. If you want to go the mecha route, he still works there too. He's just a perfect fit for him. Mecha Kingdom's also a good example, like Mass Justice, where it should have had some monsters to fight, some villains. Got a whole bunch of mechs with nothing to fight. Oh, number 5. Number 5's kind of a two-parter in a way, because I could not choose between which idea I liked more. I really, really, really like Flora Fatalis, though. And there's 2 options I would have gone with. One is more obvious, I think, and the other is more of a headcanon based on what the universe gives us. I think Nico would be incredible in this. Who's this again? This is Soraka. Nico would be perfect for this. What a creepy twist on her shape-shifting ability. Because these are supposed to be like cordyceps fungus, right? This is like Last of Us, Resident Evil. These are people being infected with plants, being taken over, controlled by become zombies, basically. And Nico being a shapeshifter, the whole point is they're trying to lure them in to turn more people into these cordyceps zombies. And we don't have any scary Nico skin yet. She's all cutesy and funny. You gotta have something to mix up, you know, like with Janitor Thresh. Janitor Thresh is all badass and edgy, and then you have a silly skin. Something horror themed for Nico would be really cool. Lilia could work too. I just think Nico, especially with the tail, and she has all the flower buds already poking out of her and the miscolored skin, like, you could easily warp that into a Flora Fatalis idea. The other idea I have is based more on a headcanon, because I want you to look at this splash art and tell me you don't see the greenhouses, the tissue patterning, the hex core shaped bud here, and like, I was so certain this was something to do with Arcane. To me, this felt like a what if scenario. This is like when Victor was experimenting on the plants with the hex core. This is a what if those plants didn't just die, they continued to evolve. And they evolved so far they became sentient and they started to take over and spread their influence. And that's a headcanon, so I can't fault them for not doing that. But Jason Victor, because they were in the room at the time, would have been really cool. I think it would have been super cool. And the story beats as well of this parasite. I was like, oh, we will all be one. It's for the betterment of all if we are just all of the same collective hive mind. That's just Victor, man. It's just an alternate universe telling a Victor story, except he lost control way faster. Technically, the skin line is just a better interpretation of Zyra, yeah. Yeah, Legendary Victor would go super hard, yeah. So, again, that's all based on a headcanon of what I thought this skin line was going to be, but I really like the idea. Nico still works really well, too. There's a stream mostly because I quit the only thing I regret is being able to relate to your videos anymore. Oh, that's okay. I do want to do like some videos outside of League, but yeah, how much time I have to do stuff is all over the place. But thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Neo is an anglerfish. Ooh, I like that. That'd be cool. Number 4. This one's cheating a little bit. Kinda cheating. Now I'll let you be the judge if this is cheating or not. I think it is criminal that we get these visual updates, and they're great. I really like that we're getting more visual updates, but the fact that we're tying them to seasons and tying them to the story means, you know, are they ever going to get it? Are Ken and Vlad just going to be stuck forever? It feels so weird that they were so involved in the story and then they got nothing. Vlad, at the bare minimum, got the Black Rose. What did Kennen get? Kennen got squat. It's so weird. Well, they both are in desperate need of visual updates, too. It's not like they're just kind of minor. Like, oh, you know, they could use a visual update. Like, Shen could use some extra animation, some voice. It's like, these guys are horrible looking. They look terrible. And this Vlad is so good. I love this Vlad design. And so I'm worried that if we're tying visual updates to seasons, even if that means we're getting more, it means are these guys going to be stuck looking the way they do until we eventually return to Noxus or Ionia, if we ever do? So I hope that visual updates aren't purely a seasonal thematic theme, because so much of the League cast really desperately needs it. And that's going to hurt. You know, we go to Demacia, right? And if it turns out that Lux gets the ASU or something, what about poor Sona? What about poor Jarvan? What about poor Vayne? You know, there's tons of champions that need them. Or, you know, Shyvana's probably taking it, actually. So we'll see. I kind of like Kennen with the mustache. I think it's funny. Kennen is technically the Kennen is technically the oldest Yordle that we know of. Oh yeah, but that design is also every single one of these designs that we see Kennen in is always. Although this one is actually closer to the League one. It doesn't have the black as much as the other ones do, but they have the Awakened cinematic version. Is he older than Heimerdinger? Yes. Kennen is older than Ionia itself. So, the thing is, with Gnar, we have no idea because, like, time is funky in Bandle City. So, yeah, Heimerdinger's, he's young now. He wasn't. In terms of Yordles, yeah, he's technically really young for Yordles now, which is, thanks, Arcane. On to number 3. And although technically, oh, I have it. Oh, I almost spoiled it. I almost did wrong. I almost did wrong. Hold on. And number 3 feels kind of bad because I wrote all this stuff in advance. Because my number 3 was actual full and proper region swap skins. And then yesterday we have Petrosite, Cho'Gath, and Nautilus, and Talia. So they're doing it. Yippee! My thought process was always, if you're going to have a skin based on a region, instead of just being redundant and just making Noxian Scion again, go out a bit outside the box. See what some champions who are not from that region would look at that region. Even though I don't think this skin is amazing, you know, at least this one had him and it had Renata. Well, I see, like, what would a Demacian Garen look like? What would an Ionian Swain look like? That kind of stuff. There could be all kinds of really fun mishmashes of things. So I'm happy that they're doing this. So I won't talk about this one too much because they are actively doing it now. But more like this. It's fun. They don't have to all be lore stuff. Did I say Demacian? Demacian Darius is what I meant to say. I got Garen on the brain because of Visions of the Fallen now. Demacian Darius. Now to number 2. How do I segue this one? We'll talk about lore skins. Region swap stuff, all that. Yunara, knocking Shrine Maiden. It hurts, but it could be done without. But there is one that's just, I cannot believe it. Boris, thank you for the channel membership, dude. I appreciate it. You already know what it is. You already know. How did it not happen, guys? Come on. It's so weird that it didn't. It's so weird. And I would understand more if Zahan's launch skin wasn't also baffling. Because they went with Immortal Journey. Like,
Nature's
why?
surprise!
Nicky Boy Blabo.
Thank you for the 5 months, dude. Thank you. Appreciate that. The Immortal Journey, it's like it's worse by comparison because we got random Immortal Journey for no reason. When everyone already liked this design. I was like, oh, cool bird ascended form. And this is actually a double whammy. because I didn't just want a bird form of Zahen. We were having a season of the Darkin, and Act 1 was of Darkin. If Zahen was coming out, Act 2 should have been Ascended, man. Give me Ascended Aatrox. I want to see what he looked like before the whole corruption thing. I don't know how the hell you'd make Kane work, but I want to see what Ross looked like before he became a Darkin. Like, what the hell? What do you mean we got... Like, why? It's right there. It's so obvious. We finally would have had an opportunity to see the past and present version. It's so silly. Varus would have been wacky to try and figure out too, but yeah, Nefiri would be... You couldn't really make Nefiri work. Nefiri is not a dog, she's not a dog ascended, so that wouldn't really work. But Aatrox absolutely could. Varus probably could. Kane could. Like, please. And Zahen deserved to get this skin because everyone loved this design.
Nature's surprise!
Lore skin. Skit so patient. That's me. Thank you for the prime. I appreciate that. There is the side though that if this skin was paid,
Oh, hello.
in a way, we would have been Seraphined. And by that I mean the design that we were advertised to and teased with for months and months ends up releasing as a paid skin, actually. And that the design that you got attached to is the one that you have to pay for. In that aspect, it does feel scummy. So, from that point of view, I can get why they wouldn't do it. But it also just feels bad, man. At least with Seraphine, those are entirely separate universes. And let's be honest, the KDA version was significantly more fleshed out in terms of storytelling than the base one. But with Zahen, they're the same character. This is just the same character at different points in his life. And we haven't had an ascended character. Oh god, Azir was the last one, wasn't he? Oh god, it's been almost 12 years. You know, in my mind, Bard is still new. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that is number 2. So what could number 1 be? Well, this whole season got me thinking, you know, we're going to have all this stuff to do with Ionia and the Ascended and the Darken. And then we got teased about how apparently LOR was supposed to be collaborating with stuff, all the IPs, and they got some stuff from TFT. But, guys, are you kidding me? The perfect opportunity. We had the perfect opportunity to bring the corrupted skins from LOR to PC. This was the best time to do it, and we didn't do it! Why? And that goes for all of them. I'd say the Shri and Ascend were probably more important because they're, you know, like that, but the Targon ones are awesome too! They're all awesome! Maybe Leona's a bit, but they're all awesome. I can't believe we didn't do it. I'm in disbelief. Where's Arcana TF? Oh, that's every year. That's an easy one. David at 6. Oops. Clicked on the wrong thing. Take you for the 6 the 6 British pounds. Wooty, thank you. Definitely not a April Fool's. You could do something like that. Because I know if it's not happening now, when LOR was going to have a collaboration with League, and when the whole theme was around the Darken, and we started getting Darken themed skins for the champions, everyone loves these, especially the Renekton one. The amount of like praise I've seen for this Renekton one, my god, that's so awesome. I'm so sad that they didn't actually go through with it. And they don't even have to design them. They're designed for you. In Renekton's case, you have a 3D model to go off of already. I know that you probably can't one-to-one. Oh, even Renekton and Azir, both of them. You have direct 3D models that you could use as reference. And if you can even port them over, that's even more work already done. And they're rigged. Ideally, that would be incredible, but didn't go through with it. Same thing with Zoe. Zoe got one as well. These are just so cool, man. The what if scenarios, like what if the aspects in the Ascended got turned into Dark, and it's just so cool. But that'll do it for my top 10 most missed potential skins of 2025. Do you fellas agree? Maybe you have your own ideas for some skins you would have liked to see released this year. Or maybe tell me that I'm stupid and dumb and wrong about all this stuff. Sure, let me know. And I'll see you next time for the top best skins of the year. We can finally be a little positive a bit. And just talk about some good things. So I'll see you then. Outro. And that's the outro for that one. I need to stretch. My back and shoulder hurts so much right now, you guys. Holy moly. Ah. Ah. Jeez. Ugh. Every champion should have Rain Shepherd. Agreed. Everyone needs infernal skins. What the heck? Now we can get rid of that. And you. And it's time for the best skins. Which was this kind of like over a little bit. There we go. Infernal brand. Let me. Okay. Well, we're back for the third and final time. I mean, if you were watching on stream, it's been like all of 5 seconds between each of these, but we're back. We've done the top worst skins of 2025 and the top most missed potential skins. So now we're back for the final, the best skins of 2025. And usually I enjoy this one the most because I usually like talking about the good stuff from the game that I play for a living. And as usual, we have the honorable mentions, and we'll try and diversify them a bit. On this one especially, this year has been particularly interesting because usually when I do these top 10 rankings, I like to make sure I don't double dip into certain skins. So sometimes a certain skin will come out and 2 or 3 of them will be absolutely incredible, but then they occupy so much of the list. This time's weird because of the variety skins. There's been a lot of skins this year that are just completely disconnected from everything else, operating on their own independent skin line, even if it's an already established one. But I tried, like, I don't want to do all variety because, let's be honest, most of the variety skins this year were absolutely bangers. And that's why I kind of want to start with my honorable mention, which is Biko, which might shock you. That's not number 1 because you guys know me. I like the bees. I like them very much. And Biko is wonderful. I just think Biko is not the pinnacle of bee skins. She's kind of like a good mashup of a lot of best elements from a lot of bee skins, and I absolutely adore it. But it's not anything groundbreaking. It's just, yes, this should have happened. This is lovely. I like this. I will fully accept it. And that's how I feel about it. I will obviously be using it because I love it. And that segues into it because I have a very similar feeling about my other honorable mention, which is Elderwood Alistar. He gets a special bump, though, because he got an absolutely atrocious skin this year. So this feels a lot like a redemption. I said, oh, he actually did get a really wonderful skin. And Elderwood, we don't get them very often anymore. And to be honest, at the Mac, it's been explored about as much as you can. This one doesn't have a lot of things that differentiate overly too much from stuff like Elderwood Hecarim, say, but it is a perfect fit for Alistar. He very rarely gets to be this gentle giant that he is in his actual nature. That's the whole thing with the Minotaurs, right? They're actually really kind people. They like to fight. And then Noxus came in, so you want to fight? And a bunch of them said, okay. And the rest said, no, I don't want to do that. And they got enslaved and imprisoned. But this one just lets Alistar be a protector. It's nice to see the mesh of all the stone and the wood. and the antlers be the tree vines. It's a fun way to have his anatomy, make him look like a big stone structure. The leaf beard in place with normal beard. It's really well executed. It's one of those skins that it's not anything groundbreaking, but it is wonderful representation of what this skin line is as a whole and a great fit for the character. So that's what. I'm going to get purple and call it, oh god. That's actually, you know what? Good point to mention. Elderwood chromas, always bangers. This is just a certified fact. Elk. Chromas for Elderwood skins. Boom. Damn. Nice looking red. That's even a nice looking yellow with the gradient to the orange. Sick looking green. Awesome looking purple. Really nice looking blue. Pink one's pretty cool too. Big fan of this one. This one's great. And this one's really cool. Like, they're just all good. They're not all impeccable, but I hesitate to say there's a single bad one. They're just all like, they're all just consistently good, and that's been a pattern for pretty much all Elderwood skins. Now for another honorable mention that I think by people, another honorable mention I think some people might not agree with, but it's one that again I think the character is just a perfect fit for, and thankfully got a bit of a redemption, kind of like Alistair, not quite the same. But I think after the changes, it's not perfect still, but I do really, really like the idea of Black Rose Renata. This is a region swap skin that actually does fit in the canon universe perfectly. If you're going to have any champion join the Black Rose, of course it's going to be the slimy, power-hungry businesswoman that's poisoning everybody for her own benefit and her own profit. Of course she would take a deal from them to just expand her reach further. Like, of course she would. And they'd give her new upgrades and augments. Like, so much better. It's, of all the characters, it makes perfect sense for her. Jesse, $10 for the... Let's say everything you've done the past couple years ago, chat reviews helped me get through the rough shit with life things. Oh, you're welcome for the video. You don't gotta give $10 just to say that, dude. I appreciate it, though. Thank you. They cut the budget. Yeah, it doesn't have a unique recall, but they did go back to change some things. We hesitated, you know, remember the old version?
See the wonder.
I can get a comparison actually.
If you add the numbers of the number of months I've been subscribed, you get the number that Jin is known for. That's right, it's 6. I mean 7.
No! Thank you, babe, for the 42 months. I appreciate it, thank you. Where? There it is. That's what it was. You can see the difference, right? You can see the distinction here. This one, I think it is way better at the change. It doesn't just look like a chroma of Renata. Yeah, that was the old one. Yeah, this is the new one. This is the revised version. They put a bit more effort into it, and I love Renata being in this skin line. If you're gonna make these region swaps canon, she's wonderful for it. So I ended up really liking this skin in the end. Even I think I could have used the extra budget to make it a full-on skin. The next one, which is number... I lost my list. My list. I lost my list. Honorable mention. Honorable mention number 4. Right? That's what I got. Yes. Number 15. Honorable mention number 4. I can't physically put this any higher. My brain won't let me. Because it does make me uncomfortable. Because it's especially not my vibe. But I cannot deny I cannot believe they had the balls to do this. I'm actually flabbergasted that they did this. I can't believe it. I almost have to. I never in a million years did I think like they doing all these fan servicey stuff. I never thought they'd actually go this route ever. I kind of have to applaud them for that. And I know a lot of people were made very happy by this. I think turning him into a Tanuki is also no accident. And it makes me feel even more uncomfortable. Because this is also one of my favorite champions. I love Volibear. I don't particularly want to view Volibear that way. But, you know, to each their own. You like what you like, man. Good on you. Not for me. But I will applaud the production value. Final honorable mention I want to say is Stargazer Vex. Mostly because it is a Wild Rift port, but not just a direct one-to-one. They actually went through the extra effort to add more details to the model, make an entirely new splash art when they didn't need to. And the fact it's Vex needed a new skin. It's not my favorite of hers on Wild Rift, but the fact that it is a Wild Rift skin, I really hope that they just keep doing more like this. That they just add more skins from Wild Rift. Fan favorites, that is, I mean. They don't have to do everything. There's a few I'd like in particular. But I would really, really like if they just did more Wild Rift skins. And again, this one isn't even my favorite Vex skin. I really like Cottontail. That one's probably my favorite because I think it's just a funny inversion of her theme. But I do applaud this, especially in an age of this year, and especially at the time when this came out, actually. At the time when this one came out, this was right off the heels of stuff like Mythmaker Jin, you know, where we just saw corners being cut everywhere. But then they added a whole new splash and all this extra stuff when they didn't need to. It was, breath of fresh air. Wonderful. Really liked it. Fan service in space in the best skins. To be fair, these are honorable mentions. Though I don't have a defense for the I don't have a defense for number 10. Because I don't want him to be here. Because it pisses me off. Yeah, these are honorable mentions. Now we're to number 10. Honorable mention number 10. I hate that he keeps getting good skins. And I hate that it's actually a banger skin in a skin that sucks in almost every other regard. Out of Mass Justice, Yone actually kicks ass. This is actually just, if you're gonna go the Super Sentai route, this is the best one. And you know how I feel about I have a wacko conspiracy theory with this one. It is really strange to me that Senna and Lucian just use their default face rigs for their recalls, and that Yone, one, he's the team leader, and he has all these crazy extra visual effects on everything. The speed lines, what they did with his E, all that stuff. Like, he is considerably higher production quality than the other Mass Justice skins. And then I look at Jarvan and Karma, who for some reason, even though they have like that big portrait art of the Mass Justice characters together, they don't include Aatrox or GP there, even though they're technically part of Mass Justice. They have this whole lineup. My conspiracy theory
Hey, it's a thingy people use. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, it's awesome and I hate it.
My conspiracy theory is the entirety of Mass Justice was supposed to be TFT exclusive. And then someone was like, we could make this into a real skin. But they didn't have the time. And they prioritized Yone first. Because it's Yone. And because he's the 5 cost. So of course he had to look the flashiest. And then we get down the pipeline. We have the highest priority. And then we have Senna and Lucian, where they got mostly finished, but they couldn't finish them entirely. And then you have Karma and J4, which they didn't even really start on getting into the league in the first place. That's the vibes I get for it. Because it's just bizarre how much better Yone is than the others. And he just fits the skin line perfectly. And it gives him his mask. He never gets the mask in anything. And he got a full one this time. They always omit it from every skin he gets, so I'm super happy that they brought it back for this one. And this is what got me into that. Like, Mass Justice, I don't give it a damn. This one's cool. And it pisses me off, because I hate that Yone keeps getting good skins, because I hate him. Yeah, he has this and Ink Shadow. That's kind of it. Number 9. Shockingly, from this year, it's a legendary skin. But you know, we had a lot of bad legendaries this year. But at least we could go out with a bang, right? At least we could go out with a genuinely good one. This is great. I really, really like Winter Wonder Zeri. I don't even really like Zeri all that much playing anyways. And I always found it strange that she skates across the ground with electricity. It always looks strange. I guess she's supposed to be like a power line or electric railway, but it looks silly. Give her your actual skates. It's great. It fits her perfectly. That's a double meaning, because the fit also works. Because how many times have we had this criticism? Oh, these winter-themed skins. Zeri, you're not going to stay warm at all like that. Your jacket, you're barely even wearing it. And they never know what to do with the jacket either in all her skins. Every time they have her skin, they just have this random jacket there. But it works here. Because these kind of elaborate skin-showing dresses and having this big performative overcoat, well, she's a performative figure skater. Have you seen the kind of stuff that they wear? It works perfectly. It's completely natural. It's a great use of her base themes and her base character concepts and key distinguishing features. Put into a skin line that's just wonderful fit for her. The only marks I have against it is there is still, unfortunately, a few reused animations, which is a shame. I think, what was it? Is it like her knock-up effect, her stun? Most animations relating to her wall slide, I think. But for the most part, they're all unique animations, and they look really nice. And the gun. Criticism I have with Zeri is they never know what to do with the gun. they never know what. So she just has a snowball gun. Would have been cool. I think would have been fine, like a little harmless toy. But that looks like it's supposed to actually do damage, and that's a little strange. But still, I think it's splash art, or not splash. I think it is fantastic. Very big fan of this one. Number 8, another character that I hate. But also one that, for a skin line I don't even like that much, that has had a lot of really bad skins, I think, in recent memories, that has no consistency. And even still, for a skin tier that doesn't have any, I cannot lie, that just works. Like, the snooty popular girl, Kiana, like, yeah, the snooty popular bully. Like, of course, that's just like duh. I hate Kiana. I cannot stand this character. I'm sorry. I cannot stand fighting her, and she's one of those characters that I can't listen to. Her voice lines, hyper arrogance, well, without a hint of sarcasm. Not my cup of tea at all. Like Aurelian, he takes jabs at himself a lot. Ezreal is pathetic a lot of the time, right? Kiana is like, there's no hint of sarcasm. She's just like, I am the best. I find it irritating, but that's why it works. That's why it works here. That's why it's a perfect fit here, because she is supposed to be like the absolute jerk. She's super popular, but no one knows why. But she just is, because she's very pretty, and she has all these expensive things. She has this super expensive equipment, an expensive bike. This is Battle Academia, and again, Battle Academia has a lot of problems, I think, with a lot of the skin coloring. Leona, biggest offense. Her colors are all over the place. This one, Nice and clean. We're keeping it to this nice magenta, this white, and this dark purple. Perfect. Yeah, it's
Hey,
literally
it's the
girl boss
thingy
skin. That's
people
basically.
use. Thank
This
you.
is just like the super
TBH,
popular
we
girl at
already had
school.
Caitlyn covering that role in this universe.
True, but Caitlyn is like the class president. And her whole thing is trying to be like, you know, all nice and proper. And she's trying to be, you know, kind of a class president. She's trying to be a leader. Kiana's just kind of an ass, but she revels in it. She revels in being that popular kid. I think it's great setting for her and a great fit for her. And they get prestige on top of it. And actually, the prestige works in its favor if you're trying to make her like, oh yeah, she's like the super rich popular kid. Yeah, having all these like basically diamond encrusted weapon, fancy bike, like awesome. I think it's great. Complete tonal shift. She's a mean girl. Thank you. That's the term I was looking for. Complete tonal shift. Very happy that this exists because this next champion has gotten a lot of skins that surprisingly gotten more skins than I think that they would have before, but a lot of time they were just kind of So absolutely pleasantly surprised about Mr. Mori, High Noon Yorick. Hell yeah. Gave him his hat back. He got the hat. And it was kind of fun that everyone always memes about Maiden being his wife when it's clearly not. In this universe, it is. Maiden is just the ghost of his wife. And the thing he carries on his back, that's her coffin. He carries her with him like everywhere he goes. It's awesome. That was this year? Yeah. This was the same patch as Vex, actually. So this one was because I already went with Vex and Honorable Mention. It was a toss-up between this one or Blood Moon Rise, and I like Blood Moon Rise a lot. But he also has Dark Crystal. So they're both good in different ways, but they kind of have similar vibes. Yorick, he got Spirit Blossom, which was fine. It was okay. And then Pentakill 3, they got rid of the hat. This one just... And it's cool, too, because it's a Gravedigger, which he barely ever is in any of his skins. But it doesn't feel like it's intruding on his original theme, you know? He still gets to retain his old identity without it feeling like it's just fresh coat of paint on the old one. It feels like its own distinct version of Yorick. And giving him... Look at that jawline, dude. He's got a rectangle head. It's great. You got Maiden up here. And of course, they integrate him into part of the story with Gragas. There's Yone down there. Fantastic. And all his ghouls are little guns. Fantastic. What the ghouls look like? They're just like little guns. They're just like little guns running around. Shovel Knight York, April Fools. I mean, if they could get a collaboration, Shovel Knight York would be great, but Yone has High Noon. Oh yeah, Yone has High Noon. It's actually really, really good. It's a legendary though. Okay. Listen, I know a lot of these have been variety already. I know, and I said I wasn't gonna double dip much. But, like, how could I not, man? How could I not? Like, Bowling League Lilia is just wonderful. It's of course. Of course she's a bowling ball. That's like her whole thing. She's the E. And it's never not funny to put an animal in shoes. It is a goober skin. That's how I feel about it. It's just silly, and the sound design on this one goes a mile. It's all the sound effects that she has when she hits something with the E, when she clubs someone with the W. The auto is a little weak, I think. But the idea that like she's just so small and dainty, and she's throwing around this bowling ball like it's nothing. It just works on so many levels. The fact she just wields her trophy, basically. It's so funny. And the big socks, too. I still think it would have been funnier if they gave her pants instead of a skirt. Let me see if I can find the... Oops. Let's see if I can find the thing that I did. I think I drew this for the... There we go. I drew this for the... rapid fire review. Like that, you get skirt, right? But... pants. or pants? Personally, I think it's funnier if she's wearing pants than a skirt. It's cursed? That's the point. It's supposed to be funny. This one feels highly illogical to do it this way. Or this. This is the third option. I don't think they go with that option, though. It's the great debate. What is the better way for a horse to wear pants? Well, then Dumbs wouldn't abide. I don't care! I don't care. I do not subscribe to the romancing deer. I subscribe to the cute, wholesome deer. That's my Lilia. No what? Off limits. Do not. You're not allowed to. Nope. I take she's learned well from her from her ace grandfather. It was goes down the family tree, if you will. You know, yeah, Dumbs will buy it anyway, so who cares? He's cute lover, yes. It's wonderful. Number 5. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on this one. But it gives me vibes of Zoshia a lot, where the design is cool on the surface, but the more you think about it and the more you look into it, the more I like it. And for me, that is Visions of the Fallen Jarvan. I think the major mark against this is the random fractal glass patterning that they put on the shoulders because it has to be a prestige skin. But holy shit, if you're going to do a darkened skin that's not of the any corrupted descendant, holy moly, man. And you made Jarvan look cool. The fact that it's basically, it's Jarvan fused with Galio. He's got the wings. He's got the crown. The darken fusing to him. It has elements of Petricite. And not even the fact that it's Petricite. The way it's patterned more like wood. It's patterned like it's the original primal version of Petricite. It's such a cool way. It's like visually mashing together the symbols of past and present Demacia, like the symbol of their king, the symbol of their ideals in Galio, mash them together. And I won't name the horrible, horrible group, but it gives me vibes of what happens when you see it in our own history, when symbols of hope and freedom are warped by some invading force to mean something completely different and awful for the sake of evil. That's kind of what's happening there. The Darken are taking the symbols of Demacia and meshing them together, warping them into something horrible. Even though Jarvan's not really the best person. Hopefully you see my analogy without having to say it out loud. But, you know, it's not like Demacia isn't familiar with that subject matter anyway. So, I think this is wonderful. It's a dark skin that actually makes me think about it. And it made me want to see more like it. Compared to Trin and Garen, night and day difference. And they gave him a cape. Which is cool. And it's also, they gave him the human face. But he's not overly human like Garen is. Or even like Zahan is. I wish it would be a bit more monstrous. I guess they don't want to make it look too much like Aatrox. Which is fair. But I can't get over just combine the two champions so flawlessly in a way that also doesn't take away from Jarvan. Like he still has the crown, but it's Galio's crown. The wings are mimicking the place of his stupid ass shoulder spikes. Like they used Jarvan's stupid armor design to its advantage to make it look more intimidating and make it look more like Galio's. Wonderful. Wonderful. I love this. A little purple dark and Garen. Yeah, it's a little weird. Dark it would be the most interesting thing for Jarvan lore. It also it helps, even though it's a hypothetical what if. Like, of course, this would be the one to make Jin Zhao scared, right? Because that's he's basically like an uncle to him. He's like, oh, that's like basically my pseudo nephew getting turned into this horrible monster. So I gotta protect him. So, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, and the artwork is beautiful. I mean, this isn't even the highest quality version of the artwork, by the way. I have my whole damn folder of where is it? This is my whole folder that I got of all the splash arts, and these are all just in 4K. But most splashes actually come at a much higher quality. This has been an ongoing project I've been doing this year, just getting the highest quality artwork of literally every character, every skin. And Jarvan's is even higher quality. Where is it? There it is. Look at that. Ooh. Glorious. Beautiful. How many gigs is that? I think this folder is like, of images, is like 50 gigs. It's a big folder, but it's been useful. All right. Number 4. I know that people are going to think I picked the wrong one. But I could go either way. There's just one I like slightly more. And I already talked about how much I love Flora Fatalis and the missed potential. I think by the end of it, I ever so slightly lean towards liking Lysandra more. Ever so slightly lean towards liking Lysandra more. And that's mainly because the Fiddlesticks model doesn't quite live up to what the splash art offers. I think the design of Fiddle is better than Lysandra. It's just not executed as well in game. But that's also because they are both fantastic in their own ways. I love how they're meant to represent, especially with Soraka, where you see Soraka's very mostly human looking. You have this kind of stage of progression of the fungal infection, right? Where Soraka is kind of right at the start. Lysandra is kind of in the middle. And Fiddlesticks completely beyond repair. That's barely even human anymore. Lysandra, I think it works really well here. Because while Fiddlesticks is a fun way to use his anatomy to show that, Lysandra uses the idea of this horrible creature. It's like Jarvan, where her anatomy, the way her model is set up, is used to sell that. Her legs have fused together. Her spindly arms, they're twisting and contorting apart. Instead of where her helmet would be, that's just her face. Her face has just bloomed apart into this giant flower. That's not where her helmet was. That's just where her head is like now. It's such a creative way to use that silhouette while still making it look like that is not natural. And you don't have to break any part of her to make it look proper. That's why Soraka didn't really come together as well for me, because it just looks like she's wearing clothes. Lysandra, that looks like she's actually been turned into some plant monster, but is still human enough that you can kind of recognize that was once a human being. And I think that is just wonderful. And with Fiddle, again, I think Fiddle is amazing as well. But I think Fiddle, the splash art, promises so much more than, like, they didn't get it across, I think, that they wanted to. It just looks kind of silly. In the splash, it's supposed to look like just unsettling. Not necessarily horrifying, but just unsettling. But in here, it just looks a little goofy. I still love this skin, though. So I could go. You could treat this as both Lysandra and Fiddlesticks. Yeah, go for both. I love them, though. I think Flora Fatalis is awesome. I can't wait if they ever revisit it in the future. So I knew you guys would agree with me, see? But this is good. This is why you guys can respectfully disagree with me and provide your own reasonings why. I'm so proud of this community. Except for the guy who's going to dislike the video because I said that, Jeremy from Minnesota, age 16. I know you felt that way about it. How dare you? Being replaced behind our backs. Yep. Minnesota mentioned. Okay. Number 3. You may have noticed there hasn't been a single April Fool's. And I did... They were all technically one skin line, so I couldn't really double dip. Variety had that more leeway where they released at different times, but I had to pick one April Fool's skin. And there was some. There was a tough. I almost said it was a tough up. It was a tough toss up for second place, cause no. Yeah, nah, I'm sorry. The Fury is great. Braum is great. They're all great. But you can't beat the Janitorgot. You can't do it. You just... I think what I love about this one is there is absolutely zero shame. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you get a joke skin where they kind of toy around with the idea, but they don't really commit to it fully. They're just like, oh, what if we kind of did this? It's a little bit... they fully committed. Like, the fact that he's sitting out of the giant toilet, all his legs are plungers, all his hooks are all just toilet paper. He has a big spray gun with the disinfectant on it. Why did they just gave him the little bald shine in the splash art? They didn't need to do that. Like, it is amazing. They committed to the bit so hard, and the fact that when you have the home guard and he runs around and makes the squeaky sound that the plungers make, just incredible. And it's especially commendable because Urgot has so many jokey skins already. It feels weird for a character who's supposed to be so serious. I'm gonna destroy everything. No more tyrants, no more rulers. We're gonna take only the strong survive. And then he gets all these, gets like a cosplayer, Oogie Boogie Man, janitor. And that's also pairing him with Thresh is also, that's just funny to have them two together. Super funny. What about Pengu Garen? Can I even count Pengu Garen? Because it's not even a real skin. They didn't even add it. You can't even buy it. I love Pengu Garen, but I can't even add it as much. This makes me a little sad. I wish they made it. Missed opportunity. I could have thrown it into the missed potential, but it did exist, just for a limited time. Okay, number 2. I think they got first place last year. They did, I think. But, I mean... Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. You know his Great Shepherd was gonna be on here. And Tristana is just getting better and better. Oh my god. And Gwen is great too, but Tristana... It's the same version of Melio, where Melio is just the perfect character to embody this kind of childlike wonder. Because that's what I get from Rain Shepherd. Rain Shepherd is like the skin when you were a kid and just going out and playing in the rain with the boots and looking at all the animals, the frogs and the birds and the worms and stuff, and just having fun being outside in the rain. And that's Melio, and now Tristana especially as well, where her cannon is just an umbrella with a frog on top of it. She's just playing pretend. You know? It's so fun. It's so clever and just so cute. I love it so much. And I love the fact, even though it hurts, because there's so many Rain Shepherd skins I want. Nico, perfect fit. Tom Kench, King of the Frogs, perfect fit. I do actually incredibly appreciate we've only gotten 2 at a time. I think if they started to do a whole big patch of like 6 Rain Shepherds, they wouldn't know what to do. They just wouldn't be special anymore. It'd be like Project, you know? They just throw in a bunch just because they can, because people like the aesthetic. I think the fact that they have been able to do a small sample at any given time means they're able to really hone their craft and make each one as special as they can be. And Gwen and Tristana are great in their own separate ways. But I will give the win to Tristana more than Gwen, I think, because I think Tristana just embodies the theming of the skin just near perfectly. Range over Graves, that's what I'm talking about, dude. So what more? Yeah, I 2 a year is painful, I admit, but that's like an event, dude. The yearly tradition. I still think Melio is better, though. I will say, I think Melio still takes the cake for me. And because Winter Wonder Zerion here, I couldn't put Winter Wonder Melio, even though Winter Wonder Melio is also incredible. Melio is just... I'm so happy for him. Because his launch skid was just kind of boring nothing. But his 2 post skids are... that's peak. Fantastic skins. Only 2 B skins a year. I mean, you know what? If they get the polish and attention like Rain Shepherd does, I'll take it. I would much rather a little of really high quality, perfect skins than a whole lot of just kind of okay, mediocre skins. He had a launch skin, Fairy Court. No one uses it. That begs the question, though. This is number 2. What could possibly be number 1? What could possibly be number 1? And I knew it was going to be from the very start. It's Biko again. I would never do a fake out like that for you guys. Never, ever would I do a fake. Here's my fake out number 1. Pengu Garrett is not actually my number 1 pick, but Riot Games, you cannot let this opportunity slip through your fingers. I think this is, it is so, it's so stupid that it's incredible. It's just Pengu with Garen's hair, his scarf, and his sword. The splash art isn't even what the skin looks like. Like, it is so stupid. And that's why it's amazing. And Riot keeps talking about them wanting to introduce new skin lines together. You know, new skin tiers. Was there visual clarity problems with this? It very clearly had Garen's base scarf and sword spinning around like Garen. I cannot see that visual clarity would be a problem with this when some of the legends, like, God forbid, you know, Dragon Storm Lee Sin for the longest time. What the hell was that thing? There's so many... Mecha Kingdom's Darius, even a good example. Half the time I can't tell what the hell that character that is in motion. I refuse to believe visual clarity would be a problem for stupid stuff like this. And they're clearly not as much effort to make because they're using a lot of base assets. So just make it a cheaper skin tier. I would easily buy some silly, stupid stuff. Easily. But I didn't put in Missed Potential because this technically did happen. But it also didn't. So it's my fake out number 1. I have an actual number 1, though. And Rain Shepherd almost took it from it. But I wouldn't fake out you guys again. It's not Biko. Even though I love Biko. I'd never do a double fake out. No, I'm just kidding. My actual number 1 is serious. My actual number 1 skin of the year. Glorious. Just glorious. And deserved. From being the champion with the worst skin of last year to the best skin of this year. This is... I can't even say... It's just glorious. It's... And I think what I love about this is how much care and detail went into this. What we got at the start, I would have been satisfied with. Because I'm old as shit. I was around when Trundle got the skin. He got traditional Trundle. And all that was was they just warped the character design to look like the old one on the new model, and they gave him the old voice lines. That's all I want from traditional skins, really. It's just a pseudo-playable time capsule. It's like, oh, it's kind of the facade of what if the new version of the character kind of looked like with the old one. But then this one, they just went above and beyond. Like, they altered the model to make it more anatomically accurate to the old Victor. They went back to change it to make sure he had the appropriate number of fingers. They gave him entirely new animations to mimic that of the old Victor, not just reusing the old ones, just like making them new from scratch. The fact that it's a legacy skin, traditional, that got chromas on top of it, and they gave it away for free to the real Victor players. And when they announced it, the cutoff date had already happened. So these fake-ass Victor people who complained about the rework nonstop, like, I love the old design so much more. Bitch, you didn't even play Victor. You didn't even play him, and you're complaining about it. You don't care. You just want to complain because you hate Arcane. I get there's reasons to not like it, but still, it's just the actual people who like Victor and played him before the rework and missed the old aesthetic gets this version for free, and there's always extra little bits and bobs. And they made a whole new splash. They didn't need to do that. They could just use the base version. That would have been easy. They could have gone the easy route. And how it came out so much later after. Like, this came out almost a full year after Season 2. So this was something that they decided, you know what? We should do this. And my sincere hope is that for how much this skin has been praised, and I hope it was successful, even though a bunch of people got it for free, that a lot of people did buy it, because it is an awesome skin. I really hope this shows right that we do want visual updates. Absolutely. We want these characters to look amazing, but there is always that nostalgic tie. I love new Skarner, but I will always miss the old one. And something like this is the perfect middle ground. It's a way to reward those players who played the character beforehand to show their time and dedication that they got something for free, and as a way to have a playable time capsule of that old version while still allowing the character to be modernized. And I hope that this is going to be something that they don't just do retroactively. Although I would hope they do something retroactively for like Skarner or Udyr or whoever, but also something they do going forward, like Shyvana. I'm sure Shyvana is going to look wildly different. I think it would make the community incredibly happy if there is a traditional Shyvana skin. Even though I don't really like the old Shyvana, but there are people who have nostalgic connection to that Shyvana. So if you don't just delete it outright, you have this new version. There you go. Major weight off the shoulders. And this just makes me so happy that it even exists, and I can't not give it the spot of the best skin of the whole year. It made me want to go back and play Victor again. Yeah, there's been leaks everywhere about stuff with Shyvana, so. Well, there we go. There we have it. That is the best skins of 2025. You both have your own thoughts on what you think were the best skins. If you completely disagree with me, I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me about Lysandra over Fiddlesticks, but be sure to let me know down in the comments below, or like what other skins you thought were the best. Thank you for watching, fellas, all the annual things. I do love doing this every year. It's kind of a fun thing that we can do at the end of every year. But I do have one more thing that I want to do, which will probably be a stream, which the stream might even happen before before the videos are out. But I have been doing this. What you see here is the icons of every skin that came out this year. I may have listed the top 10, but there's a lot more skins that came out this year. And not just for League, but for TFT, Golden Spatula, for TFT again, for Wild Rift, for good old Tusco. And you know what that means when you have a format like this. This is going to be a long stream. It's going to be a long stream. Yeah, it's just going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. Not today, but soon. So, I'll see you then. And that's the end of the recording. Why am I doing this to myself? That's the big question. Why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. Who knows? Why did I spend time making custom assets when I'm sure someone already uploaded it? I don't know. I don't know. But it'll hopefully be fun. You didn't have a fake out for Biko. Yeah, I should have. I should have done the double fake out. I'm getting too predictable. Everyone predicts my fake out now. I gotta do something. I'm just a masochist. Well, I did spend time drawing yesterday for the first time ever to work on Patreon stuff, and my back was already hurting, so I guess you're right, yeah. Trailer's real in chat, yeah. But yeah, that was fun. That was I do have a lot of fun doing this. It's a kind of nice thing. We have like an annual tradition. And I guess season rewinds were mostly an annual tradition until I kind of dropped the ball at the end of last year because of my thesis. But I won't have that problem this time. Besides physical ailments that are affecting me greatly at the moment. But that'll be the next big thing I'm working on. So I think for this month, rapid fire review for Winter Skin Sunken Shadows will be out tomorrow. And then kind of this month will just be the best, worst, most potential skin videos. And then hopefully I want to be able to get it done at in time at the end. We'll have the season rewind for this year. Casual Champion Review ever coming back. When I feel like I'm in the right headspace, I want to come back to it. I've said this numerous times on stream and on stuff, but I stopped Casual Review, one, because I was focusing on my thesis work stuff, but I got to the point where I felt miserable making Casual Champion Review. I wasn't having fun anymore. It sounds selfish to say that the fan art was the only thing keeping me going, because that was like the only thing that was bringing me joy from it anymore. My account, like I get punished for playing normal games now because my account MMR is fucked, even though I'm not high elo. That Lee Sin one took like 6 to 7 to 8 games ish to get that recording. Like, it was trying to play a jungler while I'm having my opponent be a Masters tier jungler invading me constantly. And then it hurts more too because I'm recording it live, right? So it's not like I'm just playing the game and then I'll just, add I have to reiterate my same points 8 times. It sucks. It's not fun. But I want to get back to it when I'm in the right headspace. And it also, comparatively, it just wasn't doing very well on YouTube. It was actively becoming a detriment to my channel, where the more videos I posted that weren't doing well, Casual Review didn't get nearly as many views as anything else, it would actively hurt my channel. So I do want to return to it. I just don't know when yet. Because there was, again, the fan art stuff that brought me a lot of joy. And there are a lot of moments that I would have fun with just getting to be fun and chaotic while playing League of Legends. So, second channel or VOD channel. Perhaps. The editing isn't even the problem. That's the funny thing. The editing Casual Champion Review actually takes the least amount of time out of everything. What takes the most amount of time is getting a decent game and making sure I have all my notes and research ready to go. Because I don't want to just talk about a champion strictly from memory, because then I'm going to get some details wrong. And you can tell because I did do that for Nocturne or Neela. I did the Neela one off of memory. And the amount of comments I got saying, Tomcat isn't a fear demon. No, yeah, you're right. I'm going off memory. Horrible champion reviews, yeah. So, we'll see. There's always a mental care. I mean, that is, yeah. But, anyways, I think that'll do it for me today, fellas. Thank you for watching. That was actually quite a long stream. That was 3 hours. Scientifically cited, yeah. So thank you for all the bits, all the subs and stuff. I will have to organize another stream for that, ranking everything. I think maybe we save that for the end of the year. Might be good. Save that for New Year's Day or something, or New Year's Eve. Probably makes sense because then we're actually at the end of the year. And in case Wild Rift or Golden Spatula decide to toss in anything else at the last second. Hey, yeah. They roll the bits, fellas. They roll the subs. I'm going to go lie down for a bit because my shoulder and back hurt very much right now. And the family's New Year's Eve. I'll figure out something to do. All right. Davos, take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. Rapid Fire Review will be out tomorrow. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.